Check one, two, check one, two. Yo, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Magnolia, welcome into the stream. Appreciate you being here. Welcome in. Faxter's in the building. We are live, y'all. Say Trio, welcome in. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Welcome into the stream, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. If y'all are coming in for the first time on any of the platforms, let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, let me know the kind of music that you make. And then we are going to get into some music here in just a little bit. Hi, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Welcome into the stream, y'all. I appreciate y'all hopping in. We're not playing or listening to popular artists. Brown Bill, welcome in. 2BP, welcome in. Jenna is in the building. Jacob is in here. What's up, Jacob? Welcome into the stream. I appreciate y'all being here. Let me know where you're joining from. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. We'll get moving with some music here in just a little bit. It's going to be very short live, short and sweet. Short and sweet today. I've been working consistently all day. In fact, kind of getting over a little bit of a stiff neck over the last couple days. I don't know what's been happening, but what's up, Jenna? Welcome in. So I'm just kind of figuring that out, and also trying not to hurt myself while I'm in the middle of doing a whole bunch of work all at the same time. I'm sorry to hear that, Jenna. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I've been going through it a little bit too. I couldn't move my neck for like the last 2 days, so I'm trying to chill, and hopefully y'all's music isn't so good that I feel the need to move to it, because I'm feeling better, but still a little bit stiff. Noir Hard, thank you so much for hopping into the stream. Is it Norbz? Thank you so much for hopping in as well. DXV, I appreciate you joining the stream. Welcome in, y'all. Let me know where y'all are joining from. Let me know if you make music, the kind of music that you listen to, the kind of music that the kind of music that you make, how long you've been making it, stuff like that. How was your Easter? My Easter was good. We didn't really do too much. We're kind of working largely straight through. Our family was doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Caitlin, welcome in from Ireland. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate you hopping in. And Prashar, thank you so much from Sydney. I've been to Sydney twice. Sydney is awesome. I would love to go to Ireland. Would love to go to Ireland. Anywhere but this, whatever is happening in this country. Please adopt my wife and I to Ireland. But Sydney's cool. Sydney's a cool place. If y'all didn't have so many, Bon, welcome from the Philippines. I appreciate you being here as well. If y'all didn't have so many ridiculous animals there, creatures there, I'd be more inclined. I'm like arachnophobic, and y'all have the biggest ones. So it's not a great combination, but I have been to Sydney twice, and it was cool. It was a really cool space. Okay, I don't like music, but love. Make. Oh, sorry. I was like, hold on. Who doesn't? I don't know too many people that don't like it. Don't make music, but love Britpop, rock and roll. What kind of bands? What kind of bands do you like, Caitlin? Are you Irish? I'm not Irish. I am Norwegian. By ethnicity or whatever, but I'm not. No, you're good. It was the perfect autocorrect. I'm like, I don't like music, but here we go. Can you growl? I cannot. I'm not going to growl. I don't know. Yeah, but Torvik is my last name. It's also just like my artist name and whatever. But it's my last name, and it's a Norwegian name. If you know the Torvik fjords and stuff like that. Gilu or Gilu, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Joey, welcome in to Blur, Queen, Gorillaz, Guns N' Roses, David Bowie. Yeah, hell yeah. I love that. I love it. Emily is from Australia as well. What part of Australia? We have someone in here from Sydney. That's amazing. Shout out to Muso, man. Muso throws me back. I've been to Sydney twice. Both times I went, I was like 13 years old and 14 years old. And that was the first time I heard people call musicians musos. And I was doing some conferences and some like music, events and whatever up there. And everyone was talking about musos. I was like, it's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. And so it feels like a throwback to like 19 years ago hearing musos. Yeah, exactly. The place of black death metal. Hell yeah, Wreck-It Ralph. Hell yeah. We did a song I made it on this live. Absolutely. Yeah, Prashar, we're gonna get into just a handful of consultations here in just a second. Give me just a minute to update a few things, get a couple things refreshed on my end, because I actually see that it's not showing up on the other streams. So give me just one moment. Fab, I unfortunately do not speak Spanish. I wish I did. I know very, very, very little. Caitlin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I know very, very little Spanish. I wish I knew a whole lot more. I would love to. I wish I had like the focus ability and capacity and time to learn a lot more languages, because I would absolutely love to learn a bunch of languages. I think it would be so much fun. And I also love just the ability to immerse yourself in other cultures and societies and different places across the globe. And I would love to be able to obviously like show respect to the culture as well, and actually be able to communicate in that. I think that would be amazing. Dun, 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 dun. Let me double check. Six. Caitlin, you speak 6 languages? What languages you speak? That's phenomenal. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Okay, give me a second here. I got to update a few things. 6 languages is absolutely fantastic. I love that. All right, let me get this updated. I got to move this down real quick. We just released our first demo on Spotify. Yeah, give me one moment, and then I will update everybody on the structure of the live. Just give me 1 second. I do need to get a couple things updated here. Do you have any songwriting tips for me, Whitney? Songwriting tips. I'm going to try to double duty here and try to get this updated over on OBS really quick while I answer that too. For me, songwriting tips all comes down to tools. If you find that you are like lacking inspiration, you feel like you're writing the same songs over and over again, or you just don't even know what information to pull on, I would suggest having tools in your tool belt that allow you to kind of break out of those molds instead of just pulling from nothing, right? Like if you're just like, I'm going to write a love song, what's a love song? And you're just kind of pulling from the ether. It can be very difficult to like build structure and build good structure while also not using all of the typical language. So I usually recommend processes like object writing, peripheral writing, stuff like that. I do the same with peripheral writing. Object writing is one of my favorites. If you don't know what object writing is, let me know. I can talk about it. I also have a full YouTube video on it as well. It's a process that's been around for decades, and it's a really, really powerful tool to like literally anytime, any day, any second that you need inspiration on something, then you can get inspiration, and you can get some tools and some language that doesn't feel too on the nose, which is I think one of the struggles for a lot of songwriters is like, I feel like I don't even know what to write. I don't even know what to like write about, what context to even like think about when it comes to like writing a song, whatever the context may be. But object writing specifically is one of my favorite ways to utilize tools in my songwriting. Okay, give me 1 second. I got to update this 2 seconds, and then I will explain the whole live. I'll explain what we're doing here. They do not have to be on Spotify. Let me see. There we go. I think we're back on live over there. Beautiful. Okay, let me go ahead and explain the live stream. Jack Wolf is in the building. What's up, Jack Wolf? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. For those of you who don't know, if you are coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. Whitney, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the family. I really appreciate y'all choosing to hop into this live stream today, even if it's for just a little bit. It's not going to be a very long live stream today. It's going to be fairly short and sweet. Jack, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. Jimmy and Fab, thank you for the follows as well. For those of you who have never been here before, what we do here at Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute long, 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dive consultations on the structure of your music. This is not quick reviews. This is not a trash or pass. This is not a rating. There's no polls, nothing like that. This is a detailed, long form, 20 to 30 minute multiple listen breakdown of the structure of your music. We are going to get into the mix and master. We're going to get into sound design choices, production elements, lyrics and song formatting, so on and so on. They're long form and they're really, really detailed. The goal here is to offer specific, practical, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. Let me double check a few things. I'm going to get a couple things rolling here in a second. But for those of you who don't know me, welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for joining. My name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 plus years. That's what I do full-time. I also am a classically trained musician as well. Jack, thank you for the follow. So the whole structure of this live stream is kind of from that perspective. I am not here to roast you. I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm also not here to hype you up. I'm not here to just give you exposure. If that happens, if the algorithm kicks off and a bunch of people hear your music, fantastic, but it's not my priority. It's not the way that I formatted the live stream. Like I said, these are long, these are detailed, they're incredibly nuanced. So my goal is to offer as much value and as much in-depth feedback on the structure structure of your music. Novander, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. Okay, if you would like to submit for a consultation, which is what we're doing here, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through it and follow all of the details there, and we will get you up on the board. We'll get you in line. If you are on the Purple app, we're live on 3 platforms right now. If you're on the Purple app, type !submit right there in the chat. If you're on the Red app, YT, you can go to the description for the live streaming. You'll see the details there. Of course, if you're on TikTok, it's just straight to the profile. Click on the link and then read through and follow the details there. We'll get you in line. If you want to check the line order minimum, stuff like that, it is always up on those other platforms that we're live on, which you can also check right here, or you can also check out at the link that I have as well. William, is this music that I made or music that you like? Well, hopefully both, ideally, but it is music that you made. So this is for artists, producers, session musicians, vocalists, songwriters, engineers, whatever it may be. We're going to really dive into the details of your music. So it is typically for people that you, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Cameo, welcome in, man. I hope you're doing amazing. Good to see you, brother. This is typically for people that are involved with the music, right? So let's say you, maybe it's not you, the artist, but you were a guitar player on a really cool song. Then of course you can send in that song and we can talk through in depth the structure of what you did, showcase kind of the ways that you built out the structure for that musicianship and stuff like that. But our goal is to really get into those details and offer some very specific feedback on the structure of what you're doing creatively. Liana and David, thank you so much for the follow. Is it Avial? Yes, these are paid consultations. They are long form, detailed breakdowns. It is not, William, thank you for the follow. These are not reviews. Just keep that in mind. These are not fast. They're not 5 minutes. Say get a better mix, bro, and then we move on. They're detailed, they're long form. We are going to listen to your music 2 to 3 different times to really get into the nuances of what you're doing. Threats, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Liana, thank you so much for hopping in. I really appreciate it. Okay. I got you, man. I got you. We got Cameo in the building. That's the family, man. I appreciate you so much. Let me get a couple things updated and then we will dive into the music. We're going to kick it off. We're not going to be on for very long today, so I'm going to go straight into it. As soon as I get the email in and I get this organized, we will be ready to go. If anybody would like to submit your music for a consultation, just like Cameo just did, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the steps from there. Whoever's thinking about not doing it, stop. Torvik knows to say, Chris, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that a lot, man. That's a lot of love. How long has he been doing this? David, are you talking about the streams or are you talking about music? Let me know. I've been working professionally as a audio engineer, producer, and session musician for over 14 years. Yeah, so I started playing started playing drums when I was 4 years old. I was a classically trained pianist, guild, all that fun stuff from the ages of 6 all the way through 19. I started playing, taught myself guitar when I was 8, and I taught myself Pro Tools when I was 12 years old. Before that, I was producing on floppy disks in my old Clavinova piano. And then I did a more formal training in audio engineering and production structure when I spent 2.5 years doing a private mentorship in a studio with one of the audio engineering professors at the Audio Engineering Institute in San Antonio, which I don't think exists anymore, but at the time he was one of the professors at that institute. And I trained with him for about 2.5 years in his studio. He was kind of a private mentor to me. And I spent the 2.5 years there learning audio engineering, mixing and mastering, studio tracking, live sound, stuff like that. It was super fun. It was a really, really great experience. And then since that point, this was now 14 years, I guess like 14 years ago. Since that time, I've been working professionally in music in a lot of different aspects, as a session musician, as a mix and mastering engineer, as a full-scale producer in a lot of different formats, music director. I've done a lot of kind of random different things and a lot of random different genres and different formats. So it's been fun. It's been fun, man. I love it. David, I love it, man. It's one of those things. It's very, very Finn, maybe. Actually, yes, we have for sure. It's a little bit rare though, but Finn, I love it. Radio, thanks for tapping in. Yeah, it's like living your life, but also terrifying at the same time. So welcome in. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think a lot of people assume that like living your life and living your dream is easy. I wouldn't want to be stressed about I'll put it that way. I wouldn't want to be stressed about anything else, right? Like a lot of people are stressed in their job. You know what I mean? A lot of jobs are volatile. A lot of service structures are volatile for like independent contractors and stuff like that. It can be incredibly, stressful and volatile to be an independent audio engineer, producer, or session musician, and just know that like, if I don't get the next client, or if I don't, follow through with this mix, if I don't get this placement, whatever it is, then like we don't eat. My wife and I don't have food on the table. So that can be very volatile. Now, again, I would I'd be stressing about that no matter what in this economy and based on everything that's going on. So I'm glad I get to stress about it doing something that I do love more than many other things. So I am very very grateful that I'm able to do this music full time, but it has its moments of glory, where you're just like, this is the best. I mean, like one example is like today, I sold a keyboard that I had in here that I had for a long time, in order to replace something that I really, really liked. So I'm about to, or actually I just ordered one of my dream synths, and it's going to be hopefully coming in within the next week or so. I'm so excited. And I'll post about that. It'll be very, very fun. So like, there's those moments of like, dude, I've been dreaming about this thing for a long time. I'm so excited to get it. And then there's moments of like, shit, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I gotta, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do outside of this. I'm good at music, and that's about it. Is it Naete? Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but please correct me if I am incorrect. I do have the submission here, so give me just a second to update. Got you. I got you. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to dive into some music. We're going to dive into some music here. Okay, Nate. Beautiful. Got you. Okay, perfect. Let me get you up on the board. I got you. Also, let me get Cameo up here as well. Cameo, I got you. I don't want to forget. We're about to get it moving here. All right, y'all. Let's get into some music. So we got Nate. I'm going to try to spell it the right way too. I should be able to remember that pretty easily. Beautiful. Let's get into some music, y'all. Mindy, welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. If y'all are over on TikTok, make sure y'all are tapping the screen. Share out the live with a few people you think would be interested in what we are doing. And if you, if you don't mind sending a heart me for the day, it does really help out the live stream. William J., thank you so much for the goat. I appreciate you so much. All right, sounds good, Mark Hill. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate the patience. I've been moving stiff for the last couple days, and it's beating me up, man. I don't recommend being involved in a lot of moves in a very short amount of time. It's not treating me too well right now. Okay, let me get this updated right now. I'm trying to do my best. It's one of the reasons why I didn't go into the studio yesterday or the day before, is I was completely stiff in my neck. And I was like, man, if the problem is like, if I'm in here in the studio, there's 15 different things going on. So it's my computer here, a screen here, another upright screen here. And then, obviously the camera up here I'm trying to talk to, but I'm also trying to be a little bit more rigid so I don't break my neck. Rush, I appreciate you tapping. Does it have to be my own music or music taste? Preferably your own music or music that you are involved in. Yeah, we're going to talk about your music. What we do here are 20 to 30 minute consultations. They're deep dives. They're long form, really detailed analysis and consultations on the structure of your music. So we're going to dive into your mix, your production, your sound design choices, lyric and song formatting. We're going to get into the overall kind of practical aspects and creative aspects of your music. And we're going to spend 20 to 30 minutes listening to your music 2 to 3 different times in order to really get into the details of your music and really dive into the details of what you're doing creatively and practically. They're detailed. They're really long form breakdowns. Future, thank you for the follow. Just paid and submitted. I got you. I think I just saw yours here. So that is no Vander. Let me get you up there. Absolutely, Siley. Yeah, any genre, any level of quality. I will say a lot of people, we've been doing this live stream for over 3 years. A lot of people send in unreleased stuff. You can, of course, send in released stuff. You definitely can. But a lot of people send in unreleased and kind of use this live as like a final step before sending it to distribution, before working with their engineer, before going to the studio to track, to make sure like all of their ducks are in a row, all of the practical and creative aspects of their music are like pointed in the same direction, pointed in the right direction, cohesively, genre-wise, stylistically, stuff like that, to make sure that everything is really, really clean and moving the way that they want it to before they, drop money to go to a studio or work with an engineer or send it out to distribution, whatever it may be. So you absolutely can send in released, something from your EP, stuff like that. Or of course, you can also send in unreleased, any style, any genre, any level of quality. Okay, Cameo, Nate, and Novander, I got you on here. We're ready to go. Let's get into some music. We've got Cameo in the building. Let me just make sure that I'm caught up. I do believe that I am. Let's dive into it. Cameo 13. This is still tied up. Sending this as the final version. I just wanted to showcase the final product to you. Thanks for giving me great advice and mixing feedback. All love. I appreciate you so much, Cameo 13. Yeah, it's only been twice, Cameo. It hasn't been that. I mean, 4 times because I listened twice at least. So that's not too bad. It's not too bad, and it'll be many more times after it's out as well, man. So JM, thank you for the follow. Absolutely, we've had a couple of really is it never Verseless. Verseless has some really cool music in the genre as well. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it. So this is kind of a final product right here. So the way, obviously, Cameo, you know the way my brain works. You've been here many different times. Novander, 100%. But really quickly, Novander, I will never listen without you, right? So if you have to eat, work, sleep, anything like that, you say you got to leave for any reason, I will always make sure that I save your credit. I put it on a list that I got right next to me on the computer right here, and you never have to worry about like missing out on your chance, or that you like left, your Wi-Fi went out, something like that, or you fell asleep and you missed your song or something like that. Never. I'll always make sure that you're safe. So anytime you need to come back in, we'll throw you straight back up on the board, ready to go. Also, in answer to your question, though, yes, all of these are saved. So every single one of these live streams are saved over to the Red app, YT, which is we're also live over there right now. It's where you can see the line, order, minimum, stuff like that. We're live over there right now, and every single one of these lives are saved as a VOD over there so that you can reference them at any point. That way you don't have to even worry about taking notes or like remembering everything. You could literally just go back to episode 71 or whatever it is, and you know, lock into the part of the live stream that was yours. Thank y'all for the follows. I appreciate y'all a lot. All right, let's get into it. Last time, before we dive in, I got Cameo's track downloading right now. If you want to submit your music for a consultation, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. Short live today. I'll be closing the line fairly quickly. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be a very long stream. Very long live stream. Jesus. I was like, that didn't sound right, but I couldn't figure it out. It's not going to be a very long live stream. So let's get into it. And then once again, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there. I'm taking like 4 or 5 songs today. It's not going to be very long. And keep this in mind too, this is a finished product. I've gone back and forth with Cameo a couple times on the song to kind of finalize a few things just through these consultations to get some things kind of moving in the right direction. So what you're hearing is the song that's about to go out to platforms and out to distribution. Cameo, you know the way that my brain works. So if I hear anything still, feel free to kind of ignore it or just like put it in your pocket for the next record. I don't want to like critique something. You're like, I'm excited it's coming out, like, in that way, right? Like I don't want to be a downer on something. Dude, I've worked like hell on this record, produced, mixed, performed the whole thing. Take anything that I say, put it in your pocket and run with it on the next record. Be excited about this record, man. I'm excited for it as well. Benson, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Let's run it.
So much time has passed me by, but I'm still thinking about you.
100%, man. I'm the same. That's what I would want.
Wishing I could press rewind. The clock's still ticking without you.
Shout out to Cameo,
but I
man.
can't seem to turn this page. Living rent-free inside of my head. I can't believe it. Feels like I'm wasting my time on you.
Oh.
And I gotta know.
Oh, so much. Hold on. Okay, I gotta back it up. I didn't even realize. I was just in it. Sorry, Cameo. We're gonna back it up. I'm gonna go back through this part again. I didn't even realize initially because I was like, oh, this is so good. It's so smooth. It's opening up in a really beautiful way. And then I'm now like remembering the snares aren't there, and I'm so happy. Dude, I love it so much more. It sounds way more cohesive. Benson, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details there. I didn't even like realize because it just moves so beautifully, and it really just, you know, it shifted into a really beautiful space without me even realizing. So yeah, of course, unreleased is perfect.
Feels like I'm wasting
let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Thank you for the follow.
And I gotta know, is there a way for me to turn this around? Because I'm all choked up. Woo. And I gotta know, am I the one that you keep thinking about?
Come on, dude.
'Cause I'm still tied up on you.
Thank you for the follow, y'all. Appreciate it.
Stuck in my mental, it's hard to forget.
Yeah,
you,
he did all of this. Produced, mixed, vocals, written.
And my head's where you're staying, yeah. Might be off of the drink, but I ain't too gone.
Come on, Cameo.
The ride won't be too long. I miss you by my side, won't lie. Feels like I'm chasing the high. Living rent-free inside of my head.
So much better. Come on, man. It's so much better.
My time on you.
Yeah.
And I gotta know.
What's up, DT?
Turn this around. around. Because I'm all choked up. And I gotta know. No matter what that you keep thinking
thank you, man.
about. Cause I'm still tied up on you.
Come on, Cameo, this makes me so happy, man. This makes me so happy. You got me beaming, bro. This is so good. So good, so good, so good. Y'all, so some love. So, can I do something really quick? Can I do something really quick? DT, it's so good to see you. Bro, you got me cheesing up here. Can I do something really quick? Can I go to the first song? Can I go to the first song and show the before and after of what the song was? This is Cameo 13. Because the first time this is now my third live hearing this. This is my third live. And we've chipped each time he's sent it in 2 times before this. And each time we have chipped away at stuff. We had 808s hitting some of the wrong notes. We had these kind of interesting EDM like house, snare buildups that were a little bit out of place. We had some mixing details and stuff like that. And then you can kind of see how we've like chipped away at some of the structure right here to make it what it is. Just through the live stream, through these consultations. Kate and Coda, welcome in. Good to see you. Dude, this made me so happy. I feel like it just came together in the way that it was supposed to. It feels way more in line. Like everything feels a lot more sharp and a lot more focused. Your voice is just phenomenal on the song, man. There's always, just because my brain is annoying, I can always like hear things like, oh, this could be like maybe a little warmer, a little like there's some parts where like overall, the overall mix, kind of the overall balance and like master, I would love a little more like warmth, a little bit more soft. That's nitpicky, and that's just kind of the way my brain works. Where I'm like, this could feel fuller and warmer, all in due time. I'm so happy with the way that this turned out, man. Yeah, it's a little sharp. It's a little sharp. Not necessarily harsh, but a little sharp. And I think it could be like warmer and fuller sounding. I'm not even worried about it though, man. So good. Is this already out in distribution? Is it already headed out? Let me go to the old one. Let me see. Hopefully I still have the first one here. Still tied up. Let me see. Okay, nice. Yes, it's so good, man. I think this is the first one. Let me see.
So much time has passed me by, but I'm still
I think this is the first one.
You.
I think so.
It's too many days for me, babe. Wishing I could press rewind.
Second? Hold up. Let's see. March 19th. That's the earliest one. First one was worse. The only other one I have is, what's up, Jermaine? Welcome in. The only other one that I have is the acoustic song. And then I do have the second one here. So March 19th, April 3rd. Here's the second one. What's up, Faded? Welcome in.
So much time has passed me by, but I'm still thinking about
you. This is a newer one. This is newer.
Too many out of my head, I can't believe.
Yeah, because that's the bass lined up. I'll know it. I'll know it because the first one you sent had the bass wrong. So let me go into this one. Because the first one you sent the bass was wrong, so that's how we'll know.
Freak inside, turn this page. Living rent free inside of my head, I can't believe. Is there a way for me to turn it? I gotta know. Is there a way for me to turn this around?
Well, that's the second one.
My head, I can't believe it. Feels like I'm wasting my time on you. And I gotta know.
Hold on, now I'm confused. Let me re-download real quick so I can make sure I get a fresh one here. Let me see. Now I'm confused. Bubble's in the building. What's up, Bubble? Welcome in. Spark, I appreciate you being here. So this is 4 days ago, so that would be the second one. This is the one from today. Boom. And then Time Mind's in the building. What's up, Time Mind? Don't even know what's happening. I'm just vibing. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Beard, I need to get rid of this, man. I've been my neck has been all effed up the last couple days. I've been hurting, so I've been lazy. I'm not shaving. It's bad. Never embrace nature. All right, let me see. Still Tied Up, March 19th. So there's the acoustic one. Let me see what this one is real quick. Nope, not that. What'd you get, Time Mind? I think nature embraced him. That's so true. Nature was calling. This is the first, Still Tied Up, right here. Let me try a different third acoustic. This would have to be it. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Congrats, man. Oh, is that why? So is this is the newest one? Is that why it's doing that? Do you still have the old? If you don't, I don't even want to worry about it. I just thought it would be interesting, just even within like 2 weeks, to see the journey of the song. If you have it, perfect. And to replace the old link, yeah. You don't have to worry about it, man. I don't want you to stress about it. Yeah, send it. If you got to send it over just as like an MP3, it doesn't even have to be like a big wave or anything like that. I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued to like see some of the differences and stuff like that. I want to know. It's so good. I love it, man. Tone Capone's in the building. What's up, Tone Capone? Good to see you. Okay, so let me keep this one up, and then we'll see the other one when it comes in. Quick reminder, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details there. We're only taking like 4 or 5 songs over the next like 2 hours or so. Nothing too crazy. A little bit of a shorter live today. Just been working like crazy, so I gotta keep things a little bit more concise. Maybe a bit longer tomorrow. Although tomorrow I'm gonna try to finish up this mix that I've been chipping away at for a couple days. So hopefully I can do that, and then we'll get on for a couple hours after that. Alfonso, welcome in. David, it depends. Today's going to be, more recently, it's been, what's up, Noki? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing amazing. Lately, it's been like 2 hours, just based on capacity. Sometimes if I like tomorrow, maybe, if I can finish up this mix earlier in the day, like if I can just knock some shit out and finish earlier, I might get on for like 5 hours. You know what I mean? Like I might, like if I finish a little bit earlier and it's like like there's this big mix that I've been working on. It's got a whole bunch of files. So I've been chipping away at it for a lot. If I can finish that earlier and the end of my day is a little bit more open, sometimes I'll start obviously like a fresh session or a fresh project. Or I'll hop on a little bit earlier and we'll go for about 4 or 5 hours. Do you feel like people learning music theory helps them create better music? 100%. 100%. I think you can get stuck in it. I think it's like anything. They're all tools, right? Life experience is a tool. Music theory is a tool. The things that you're actually using, your interfaces, your DAW interface, the controllers, the synths, the instruments, they're all tools, right? I'm of the mindset, the more tools, the more experience, all of that stuff that you have. A mechanic, welcome in. Good to see you. The more tools that you have, the better you're going to be at your craft. Now, you can get stuck in those tools. I know people that are adamant that music theory doesn't matter and they keep making shitty stuff because like none of their 808s line up with the other like random splice bass loop they brought in. I'm like, okay, you should learn to figure that out. And that requires sometimes understanding at least a baseline of scaling and baseline understanding of the key that you're in and stuff like that. So I think if you get stuck on the fact that, theory doesn't matter, you can kind of put yourself in a rut. If you get stuck completely on the other side where it's all theory, it's science, music and art is science. And then you get stuck with this immense knowledge of what you're doing while at the same time making lifeless, sterile music. We all know even popular people that do some stuff like that, right? And so I feel like it's just all tools. I think it's just all tools. Now, because I understand some music theory and have some training in it, I think it allows me to more easily grab at stuff that I know will elicit the thing that I'm trying to create, right? Like if I'm like, man, I want to create something that's like feels like sad, right? It feels somber or it builds a lot of tension. And then I come here and I'm like, dude, I don't even know where to go. I don't know where to go. But if I know that if I just do like a G sharp minor with a 2, where it's gonna give me this tension that I really like and it feels dark and somber and emotional, and that's exactly what I want, then I have a tool to pull from to elicit the emotion that I'm trying to kind of grab onto. So I think it's just all tools. I don't think you should get stuck anywhere. I don't think you should get stuck, in your templates. I don't think you should get stuck in all those, all different modalities and stuff of learning music. Let's go, DT. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. I feel like people don't understand enough the psychology involved in music to create emotions. 100%. I agree. I make EDM and a dance. I can't talk. EDM and EDM and a dance. If anyone is interested, absolutely, man. Y'all go check them out. Go check them out. Cameo, I just got your email. It's the whole premise of why horror films aren't scary without the music. Right. I've seen clips on like YouTube and even TikTok where they pull the music off of, what's up, Raven? They pull the music off of like horror films and stuff like that. It's like, this is terrible. This is a terrible movie. But the music is half of it, right? The whole... Even like Jaws, right? Like this, the whole like structure there is like based on like a couple, like 2 notes, one little semitone right there that is like creating all of the tension of like 80% of the movie. Psychology at times. This is so true, 100%. Krista Berg, the name sounds super familiar. Had to perform surgery on it. Some files hate setting when they're over. They're 100% Cameo. Oh, dude, I love Hans Zimmer. He's such a. We're speaking about Jaws. We're speaking about anything having to do remotely about music. It's so true, David. It's so true. Okay, let's get into this. We got the other track here. Let me get this downloaded. It's gonna pull it up in a different place, I think. So let's see if I can get it here. So this is the first version, I think. This is the first version. I want y'all to hear where this came from, and then we'll just play through the other one really quick. Just to show them some love. But yeah, let's shout out to Cameo, man. I'm so proud of you, man. You really woke this up. Let's see. Let me try one more time. Right here. Come on. Where does it want to open up? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Got you, DT. I got you. I can't wait to hear what you're working on, man. Why is it not wanting to open up? I'm gonna change. I think there's so many dots in it. So hold on. I'm gonna change the name on here so it's not messing me up. There's a lot of dots. Rio, thank you for the follow. Back to music theory. Everything. You're using music theory whether people know it or not. I think that's what's interesting. Diwa, thank you. I appreciate that. You're using music theory whether you know it or not. You just might not have a language to attribute it to it. No worries, man. No worries. Let me see. I don't know if it could also be my what's up, Laced? What's up? Take on Tool, please. Everyone thinks they're fan base, or I'm not familiar with Tool. I'm not familiar. We gotta open this up, man. We gotta open it up. It is fun to talk about. I don't remember reviewing my unfinished version of Wasted You. Would have been close to 2 years. Oh man, I've listened to a lot of music since then. I mean, sounds like vaguely familiar. It sounds like vaguely familiar, but I don't want to lie and be like, oh yeah, I remember the hook or something like that. It's been a while. 2 years is that's a lot of music. Adam, welcome in. Kat, welcome in. Let's see. Hold on, man. Why is it not? I am Laced. I'm on 3 different platforms. Kat, welcome in. 3 different platforms right now. Thinking about, yeah. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah, it's not. I don't know why. Let me check something over here real quick. check. I don't want it to be Dust. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you for the heart me as well, Michelle. Good to see you. Diwa, thank you for you're awesome. I just saw that a little bit late. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that a lot. Okay. It could be that, but no, probably not. I gotta clear some storage on here. I don't know how I have like 4 terabytes of storage and I still run out of space. It's never ending. And it's not like I can just like delete client projects too. It's brutal. Okay. That shouldn't be the issue though. I still got a little bit of space squeezing. Yeah, no worry. Yeah, I wanted to showcase it. But I won't spend too much time on it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I think it is really cool to see the difference. Anyways, Ghetto Boy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Rilo, do you have any R&B songs to suggest? Midnight River by Black and Pink Sweats is great. It's one of my favorites. If you like when it comes to R&B, I like kind of like lo-fi, dark, moody R&B, sometimes with a lighter twist. But Pink Sweats and Black, that's a great. I think it's Midnight River. That's a really good record. Good production, really clean, addicting melodies. I like the production structure on there a lot. I think that's a good one. I know. I'm curious too. If you figure out a way, let me know, Cameo. Because that would almost be like more worth it, even for you to show your growth than even just like playing through it again. But of course we can. I'm curious too, David. I know now I'm like my brain won't let it go. But if there's just not a way to send it right now, then I don't want you to worry about it. I don't want you to have to mess around with it. You could do Drive. Yeah, it does. It does typically. Yeah, maybe next time. I'm going to try one more thing here real quick. If this doesn't work, then the next time we'll just play through the song again, since we've already broken it down and stuff, and then we'll see. Let me see. I need to get DT up here as well. Nah, doesn't want to do it. Yeah, DT, I got yours. Let me go ahead and get DT up here while I'm waiting on this. Choked up on you, yeah. We got the family in here. What's up, DT? It's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing absolutely fabulous. Absolutely, Cat, 100%. I would say most people send unreleased. We working with waves now, DT? What are we doing? Okay. So wait, on Dropbox, it won't let you send another one? It won't let you send another one. And again, if it's oh hell yeah, DT. You mean we got details? Details? Let's go. I do Pony. Oh, not personally. I don't think the language is the most recent same wave. That's so weird, man. Okay, we'll scratch the idea for now. I wanted to show the before and after, but here's what would be cool for you to do regardless. Regardless, Cameo, just for content, would be to show, because this is your production, man. It's your production, it's your mix. Show your original demo with some of your ideas, like show your hook, show the bass line, show like where those drums came in, show it unmastered, like show like that whole like early demo that you have, and then show what you did after. Cause that's all you, man. Like that's all you building out your structure. That's all you improving on your master. That's all you building out more of your production structure, making edits and stuff like that. That would be cool content for you anyways, is to take, since you are writing, performing, you're mixing, you're mastering, you're producing the whole thing. It would be cool for anybody over time to see your process too. Like I think of it like as an engineer, sometimes I'll do that where like, here's my client's demo, here's the mix I gave them or whatever, stuff like that. And that's a little bit more direct. But since you're doing it all yourself, it's like, here was my initial idea. Here's like the voice memo of what I recorded. Here's like this really, really basic, like really, soft structure that I have right here. Here's the song that's out on all platforms. Go stream it kind of a thing. I think that'll be interesting too. Okay. Okay, let's run this one from the top. We'll dive into. I won't really dive into too many of these details here, currently speaking. But let's go ahead and dive into this track. This is still tied up by Cameo 13. It's going to be coming out on platforms here. I'm assuming fairly soon. So let's get into it. We've already broken this down a couple times. We're chopping through a couple other details, but let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So much time has passed me by, but I'm still thinking about you. It's too many days for me, babe.
Love your voice, man. Come on.
Wishing I could press rewind. The clock's still ticking without you, but I can't seem to turn this page. Living rent-free inside of my head, I can't believe it. Feels like I'm wasting my time on you. And I gotta know, is there a way for me to turn this around? Because I'm all choked up, and I gotta know.
It's such a great example of a solid hook too, because I get addicted to this melody. It gets stuck in my head. It gets so stuck in my head. It's sticky, it's gluey. I love everything about it, man. And it's well performed too. You have a great voice. That high register mixed voice of yours is just beautiful. It's really, it's so like clean and forward and precise. I love it, man. It's really, really well done. Felix, yes, this is an artist that's right here in the chat. You'll see him in the comment in a second. It's Cameo 13. They produced this, they wrote it, they sung it, and they mixed and mastered it. They're very, very, very talented. We've been chipping away at this record, or they just have been chipping away at this record for a couple of weeks now. I'm so excited for you, man. I'm also excited of like this side of your vocal too, and kind of this side of what you're doing, just because a lot of your earlier stuff, as some of y'all know, let me thank you for the heart meme, is a little bit more like dark hip hop R&B. Like that's the more, and you can go to Spotify and see, love you too. You can go to their Spotify and let me throw me off, as she very well does. You can go to their Spotify and check out some of their older stuff too. You know, this is my first, it sounds epic, even though it's my first time here, 100%. Shout out to Libby.
And I gotta know.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. I can't think straight.
Am I the one that you keep thinking about?
Come on, man.
'Cause I'm still tied up on you.
I might need to get a. I might need a vocal from you. I might need a vocal from you in the near future. How near, I don't know. Steph, is it Stefan? Thank you so much for. I can't see from this far. It's all like the lights like on my screen. I can barely see. I might need a vocal from you in the near future on some projects. Let's stay in touch, as we already do. But yeah, let's stay in touch. I hear that, Felix. I hear that. Catchy as hell.
You're stuck in my mental. It's hard to.
Great harmony structure, great stacks, position. Those vocals are really, really well positioned. They're kind of back and widened outside. They're really, really well structured, man. Again, I've heard this, Felix, thank you for the follow. I've heard the journey of the song from out-of-tune 808s, different chord structures, different. I've heard the song go through a lot of different journeys. In the near future, make sure y'all are following Cameo and look out for some content on the song too. I think you could post some really cool content on how you built the song. I've seen people go viral just for that.
Forget you, yeah.
Love you.
Sprung and I'm staying. And my head's where you're staying, yeah. Might be off for the drink, but I ain't too gone. Take another ride, won't be too long. I miss you by my side, won't lie. Feels like I'm chasing the high. Living rent-free inside of my head, I can't believe it. Feels like I'm wasting my time.
What's up, Kai? Welcome in. Good to see you. Sorry if I missed your chat earlier. So I just looked down at the different chats. I appreciate you tapping in over on the Purple app.
Is there a way for me to turn this around? Because I'm all choked up, and I gotta know.
Why so heavy on the autotune? I don't have autotune. Or what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you asking the artist? This is not me. This is Cameo. You can ask them. It's a personal choice. It's a taste choice. Yeah. This is a personal choice. It's a stylistic choice. just switched to the NT1A. You used to have a 102, not Felix, Cameo. Yeah, NT1A, beautiful. You also love, that makes sense. It's a very bright. They're both pretty bright. I've used both. They're both fairly bright microphones. Yeah, I've been using it for years. Yeah, you had a 102 for a while, right? And then I know for a long time you were using the SM7B for a little bit. You were switching back and forth between a couple things too. The 1A just works. It just works. Like, I mean, obviously they're cheap, but like they for the right vocal, they do a good job. You know what I mean? Like with a microphone like that, it's the only real reason to upgrade is if you are looking for a pretty substantial jump in quality or tone. SM7B is a very nice mic. Yeah, I have one. I have an SM7B, and it's a very different mic. It's like, people ask me all the time. For one, hold on, show some love to Cameo 13. Cameo, we love you, man. You're phenomenal. I love you, man. We've talked about the song in depth, so I'm excited for you to get the song out there as well. It's really, really well done, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm really interested to hear you build out. The people, like, I don't know why people cross shop those. Like, a lot of people look at price and that's it, right? Like, people are like, hey, for $500, should I get an SM7DB or something like that, or a Loudman Audio LA220 or whatever, right? Or like a 440 Pure from Lewitt. They're like, they have like this, they only look at that. I'm like, those are two like dramatically different, like a sensitive large diaphragm condenser that's like really bright and incredibly sensitive is going to be like a very dramatically different scenario than an SM7B, which is a hypercardioid dynamic microphone. That's going to be it's going to be a very, very different experience. And so I wouldn't ever cross shop those. It's just like, if you have issues with rejection in your room, what's up, Joe Allen? If you're having issues with like your environment in your space, if you maybe need something that's like a higher SPL, you need a little bit more rejection of your environment, then yeah, of course we can, an SM7B can be the right choice for that. Yes, we are, David. I have a 102. I don't like it. Everyone's got their opinion on it. I bought the TLM 102 because it was a Neumann and I thought it would give me credibility. This was like 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. I was a young buck engineer. You know what I mean? I was a young engineer, and I learned the name Neumann, and I thought, if I get a Neumann, then I will be good at what I do and people will think that I'm credible instead of just working. And I just don't think a lot of engineers are honest about that being the case for probably most people that buy that microphone. I would say that about 80% of the people that I personally know, and I know probably 7 different people with that microphone, had bought that microphone because they wanted a Neumann, not because it was the best $800 microphone at the time. And the mics don't have to be expensive. Many mics use the membrane of one of the best mics. I have like 3 SM57s. That's a great example of mics not needing to be expensive to do the job right. Like, I would never want to put this, this tube microphone on my snare drum. I mean, I could probably sound pretty fire, but put it on my snare drum. The SM57 for $100 is the better mic for that scenario on my snare, maybe on my Fender cab over here or whatever, or like my bass cab, whatever. Like, for whatever reason, that is the mic that just gets the most out of that scenario. And so, yeah, it's not about price. It's about utility and about color, right? So like at a certain level, then you can start to dig into like, okay, at this particular price point, like, what color and texture and character do I want on this record that is going to come from a specific microphone or a specific chain of events, right? That is going to give you a little bit more of what you're looking for. But yeah, you can absolutely get away with some cheap stuff. What do you like on the kick? I have 2 different kick microphones. I actually probably have more in here. So I have a bunch of mics laying in drawers around the studio. I have a Beta 52. Actually, it's right here. I have this little guy. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to go wrong with this mic. It's a Beta 52A. It's pretty hard to go wrong. This mic is kind of bulletproof. You could run over this thing with a car and it would still work perfectly. I've had this thing for forever. I also, the one that I have on my kit right now is an it's a D112. It's a D112. Yeah, the D112 is what I have on there right now. I would say that I go with the D112 probably 90% of the time. 90% of the time I go with the D112. That's what's on the kit currently. And then this one's great. I mean, dude, it's awesome. I have no issues. Like this is a taste thing. It's a color thing, right? Like to me that this to me feels it feels to me a little bit brighter and maybe a little bit more hollowed out in the mids. Just at least with the way that I have my kit set up right now, which is fairly dead, pretty dry. And so I prefer the D112, but they're both great. There's nothing wrong with any of them. I've been learning how to mix. Beautiful, dude. I got you, Connor. Shoot me a message. But yeah, I think the D112 is typically my go-to. It's the same with like the toms. Like I had the 609s on there or 906s maybe on there for a while. In fact, I might sell my 906 because I do MD421s on there. Again, 90% of the time, the 90% of the time that the MD421 it's this little guy. Oy. This little guy right here. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite mics for toms. I love this thing. That to me is one of my favorite. I use that on toms all the time, and I feel like it just does the job. It does the job. I just got a warm audio WA8000. I don't know if you've used it. How do you feel about it? So here's the thing with warm audio stuff is warm audio is they're not what they're emulating. So if you just look at the WA8000, which is their C800 clone, right? Connor, thanks for the follow. If you just look at it as its own standalone, really bright tube microphone for $1,200, then you will probably enjoy it for what it is. I think there are probably better microphones for $1,000 to $1,500 in that range. I'd probably get a pure tube from Lewitt over that. Just personally speaking, just from a versatility standpoint, noise floor standpoint, I know several people that have the WA, and both of the people that I know that have the WA got rid of it because of really bad build quality and noise issues. There's a lot of, and now it's a tube microphone that happens. This is a tube microphone. It's got some noise on it sometimes, but all of the people that I know that had that microphone have ended up a couple months in running into some issues. So I think that's the thing with warm audio is like, don't get the WA, like don't get a warm thinking it's what it looks like. Get it for what it is. Like get a warm audio 47 tube microphone used for $600 because you want a pretty decent tube microphone, not because you think it's actually going to sound like a U47 that's $30,000, right? I think if you like, don't get the WA1B thinking it is going to be a CL1B. It's not. It's going to be a blue compressor that does a pretty good job for $800, right? It is not going to be a CL1B. It's not going to have the smoothness, right? It's not going to have some of the roundness that people love it for. So I think that's the thing with Warm. Like Warm makes some decent stuff, right? I just think it's a little bit disingenuous on the marketing side where they're like, this is this microphone, and it's like it's not. It's really, you can open them both up, and I've seen people do it. You can open them both. These are very different things, like very, very different microphones, very, very different preamps and compressors and stuff like that. But they doesn't mean they don't sound good. And so like, I'm not here to bash any of them, like Behringer and Warm and stuff like that. I've had and have stuff from those companies, but I just think you have to go like, don't get it because you think it's a 1073. Don't get it because you think it's a C800, right? Like get it because that's what you want. And you like the way your voice sounds on it, so on and so on. Anyways, you also still have to Cameo one more time. Let's keep going with some music. We got to keep it rolling. Give me just 1 second to update this. Remind me really quick who initials JG. Actually, I think I might have it right here. So let me just double check really quick. That is After Dusk. After Dusk, I got you. Let me get you up here. And then we're going to close the lines here in just a little bit, y'all. Like I said, I'm not going to be on for very long. After Dusk, I got you. Thank you for your patience. I just got you up there. Just saw that come in. All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. We got DT in the building. Sorry, what I mean was I have trouble creating my own lyrics. Yeah, used for 600 is great. Used for 600 is great. Like I got my TLM 102 for like $400. That's the only way. That's the only way that I would get a TLM 102 is if you can get them cheap. Then it's like it's good for acoustic guitars. It's good for like bright, airy female vocals. I'm having trouble with microphones grading my... Taylor, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I appreciate, yeah, Cameo. Sorry, I'm catching up on some comments here. We got DT in the building. DT, you know the deal. Give me all the details. Let's run it. Let's keep it moving. I'm going to close up the line here in just a little bit. It's just short and sweet live today. We're not spending a whole lot of time, but we are still doing 20 to 30 minute consultations. We're still going deep into the structure of your music. So if that's what you're looking for, you can submit, but it's going to be short and sweet. We might have to save a couple people tonight. I'm not going to be on for very long. So let's get into it. This is Late at Night by DT. DT, the best mod in the West over here. One of the best. We got some phenomenal people over here on the Track Talk team, experimenting with different beats. Let's get into it. I feel like killing it. Yeah, I mean the SM7B from someone who owns it. It's just dark. It's mellow. If it doesn't give you the sensitivity that you're looking for, then try something that's large diaphragm, a little bit more sensitive, maybe a little brighter, and you'll be in a good spot. I recommend the LA 320 for that price point. If you're going a little cheaper, the Lewitt 440 Pure is great. But yeah, I think now that I think you said you updated already, so I think you're in a good spot. All right, DT, you know the deal, man. All right, let's go, man. Let me go. Let me know kind of what you want me to focus on this as well. Is that built into the beat? Mito, welcome in. A neck, man.
I always think I'm getting better till the sun goes down. Cause then the voices get to talking when no one's around. Telling me this one
What's up, Gray? Welcome in.
But then I think about what I deserve. And that ain't it, you got me wrapped around your finger. Tell me how you got so much closure from this. This for me the feeling lingers. But you probably forgot that I exist. I need to stop. No, I can't keep on doing this to myself. I know you're not.
What's up, Judah? Welcome in.
So why am I putting myself through hell? Every time it's late at night, when it hits me out of nowhere. I don't know why.
I like the space on this one compared to a lot of your other songs. It's a little bit more openness.
Every time it's late at night.
It's a feature song too. You need a rap feature on the second verse or another vocal feature. I like it, man.
2 a.m. here and I'm up still. Intrusive thoughts up 1-0. Typed up a text that I ain't sent yet, and I don't really know if I will, cause I'm just an option. You didn't want me like that, no way.
Dio, thank you for the follows. I appreciate it.
Get enough, then you probably would've stayed. So I'll just have conversations in my head and make up what you probably would've said. Cause if I did it in real life, I'd get my feelings hurt and regret. Know how it is, cause I've been there. That don't stop memories that play. Wanted to do it a little different, and maybe we still can one day. But until then, I don't know what to do.
If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up there.
I'm thinking about you. Every time it's late at night, when it hits me out of nowhere. I don't know why, but I can't stop. Believing one day that you might care. Yeah, every time it's late at night, when it hits me out of nowhere. But it ain't no point, cause if I hit your line, it ain't gon' change your mind, and it ain't fair.
Let's go, DT. I really like this production with your vocal. It's like a good contrast between how heavy the production feels oftentimes. I mean, a really, really low, heavy 808, and they're a good pacing, obviously, for the drum structure here. And then a softer, airier vocal in the background. It's a cool contrast. Y'all show some love to the family, man. That's Late at Night by DT. Typically speaking, you get a little bit of this in your verse here. A little bit in the verse here. Hallie, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Welcome into the stream. That is Late at Night by DT, who's right here in the chat. Alari, not crazy long. It's not a crazy long live today. It's a little bit shorter. NG, welcome in. NG, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing amazing today. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shorter live today. So we got, I think, a handful of people in line right now. But it's not going to be super, super long today. In fact, based on how many I've left, I already need to update the minimum. So just keep in mind, if y'all do want to submit, you definitely still can, at least for the next song or two. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details there. But make sure to check the line first. The line is always up on the other platform. platforms. You can see how many songs we have left. You can see the minimums as we update them so that you don't get, left out. And you can always see the order and kind of where you're sitting in line as well. Let's run it from the top, man. Let's get into it. I'm excited to break this down, man. Let's dive in. I'm trying not to move my neck so much because it's been like broken, it feels like, for the last couple of days. I haven't been able to move it for 3 days. But I'm hearing great music and I can't help but feel the music and I can't help but move and I don't know what to do. So I'm struggling to like not feel like like I'm gonna have a raging headache tonight because my neck's broken. But then DT comes in with great music. All right. Let's get it, man. I would love for you. So you have a great hook on here and you have great spacing on your hook. I would love for you to have like a distinct, Anna Marie, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you so much. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I would love to hear a distinct like intro outro, maybe pocket of the song. This could even just live alone in the intro and outro, not necessarily as your hook, because you do have a good distinct hook structure going throughout the song. And it's got a little bit more space than a lot of your other songs do. And I think that's fantastic. But anytime that I hear these like isolated vocals, like isolated sampled vocals in a production that's baked into the beat, I'm always like, I always want to bias towards the artist doing something over it so that it is your own, right? That you're not one of like 47 other people that have that exact same hook on the intro of the song that's untouched by your own creativity. I think it would be nice to have something there that puts your thumbprint on it, that says this is your intro, it's your song, as opposed to like there's a bunch of other people that are going to have this exact same intro before your vocal comes in or before their vocal comes in, and it's going to be the exact same thing. So it would be nice to either like follow that melody of the sample in the background with some kind of an intro / outro. I'm singing over other words, but at the same time, it's almost, yeah. I mean, another thing you could do, just sounds like I follow the melody. You could also filter it down farther too. So like you have this early synth, right? Mike, thank you for the follow. Because most of that doesn't have really clear phrasing, right? Like I think I hear stay in there, maybe, but then I can't really pick up on really anything else that's happening back there. So feel free to not, right? I'm, as you very well know, I'm tossing out ideas. I'm kind of throwing some stuff out there. There's no real vocal structure that you would be interrupting, especially if you're fairly intentional with your phrasing and how you sing over it. What I would maybe even do is like filter your own vocal to kind of put that in the background so it feels a little bit tighter. Just because it's like, this is just quite literally the same as potentially many, many other songs. The other option, of course, is that you just do your hook too. That is an option we've talked about plenty of times too. So,
no, I can't. So I am. It's late at night through hell. Every time. It's late at night.
So like, you just would have. It's late at night. And it's your time. It's whatever, right? It's late at night. Like you could still have some of that in there. Might step on the toes of the background. You can figure that out however you see fit. But that's kind of what I'm imagining there. I would just hate, like, that's the thing with leasing. That's the thing with downloads, like, for profit and whatever. Like you are connected to a production structure that many, many, many other people have. And so I think it could be beneficial. Just find some way to put your identity in the intro and outro, since that's where that sample kind of reveals itself. And then the rest of it, you're locked in. You got a pretty busy vocal structure there that you're very locked in on. So I'm not too worried about the rest of it. What's up, Jackson? Welcome in. That vocal does open up on the B section here, to be honest. The first part, it's like, oh yeah, you can barely even hear it. Second time, it's like, okay, I'm getting a little bit more out of it. How you work that out is up to you. I was like, wait, yeah, it's a little more prominent there.
I always think I'm getting better till the sun.
Because the other option, let me show you this real quick. So like the other option, let's, for 2 seconds here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time here, but for the sake of late at night, for the sake of just looking at this for 2 seconds, the other option would be to kind of go in here, and we'll do what am I doing? I can't think straight. Oh yeah. I was like, wait, what are we doing? Vintage filter. I could hear that, Jackson. I could hear it. The other option, right, would be to kind of start here. So I'm going to play it within the DAW here, right? Turn down this resonance a little bit. You could have your vocal structure over here. It's late at night. It's on the way. I've been phoning 40 minutes. I've been phoning 40 minutes. It's late at boom. And it comes in, right? Like, that's like a super, that's like a 2 second, like, this is like lazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the easiest, laziest way to just like put the first part of it underwater and just, this is it originally, right? Like your actual vocal structure. You could do this kind of whatever and then just open it up, you know. You could even cut this in half. If you do it this way, you could cut it in half technically and just do a half, tossing out ideas, ignore half of them, right? You could actually cut this in half to make this even a little bit sharper and a little bit more concise. Push the song to about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2 minutes and 25 seconds versus 250, 254, something like that. That opens it up a little bit more. So you could actually start here, since if you did start with a filter, you could start halfway and just start here. So that would start actually about here. It's late at night. You can do whatever you want, right? You can play around a little bit, and then you're already here. Boom, and it's open. Like, easy, super easy. To bypass any issues with the sample in the background, you give a little bit more of your own identity to the intro here. Is it the same on the outro? Does the vocal come back in? So like literally you do the same thing here, right? So just for shits and giggles, we just back this up. DT, a couple above you. They don't have any control deal. That's the only problem, is it's all baked in. All of this is baked into the 2-track. It's just like a lease beat or a downloaded beat. So they don't have any control over the pitch unless they like pitch the whole entire production, the whole beat up, an octave, which you could. And then you just have to kind of automate back down or have it on a separate track and then crossfade right there, make that really smooth. You definitely could. There's some options to do that. But even on the outro here, DT, you can kind of do the same thing, right? And just reclose the filter. These like easy automation curves here, right? And then I'm just going to slowly bring it down. There's your outro. Slowly close the envelope. Boom, done. Right? Like you can like basically open and close the song the same way, bypass any other sampling, give your song a little bit more of its own identity. It feels a little moodier maybe, right? Like it feels a little like darker, a little bit, it's got a little bit more like attitude to it. It's kind of fire. So simple, dude. Sit here for a second. Just let it sit underwater for a minute. And it's done. You don't even have to close it all the way. You can just like let it sit underwater for like 3 seconds there and then close it. Literally just add a filter, automate the filter, boom, done. Easy. Nothing at all to it. Let's switch back over here. But first, show some love to DT. So literally all you got to do, so you just need to add a filter, right? You just need to add a filter, and how you do that is as like simple or difficult as you want. If you're doing this, what DAW are you using again? But like really quick. So I'll show you like really quickly how I would do it. Because this is just a filter that comes, it's a free filter. This just comes with Pro Tools. I'm going to go here and I'm going to automate the cutoff. So I'm going to add a cutoff lane. I'm going to put the lane right here. I'm going to go down here, boom. Go down to vintage filter, cut off. So now here below, this is my filter. So all I'm going to do is like literally right here at the end. Let me go right here. This is how you would automate it. As soon as the track, I'm going to zoom in. Logic Band Lab, but this is on the lab. You'll want to do this in Logic. This like when you're actually like, maybe you record everything in Band, and then when you're ready to start mixing and stuff, drop it over to the Logic. See, like right here. So this little lane right here, you won't be able to see it that well just because I don't know if the fidelity is there, but you'll maybe get a little bit of an idea. Yeah, literally, any filter will do the trick, right? So I can just come in here. Here's my filter right here. Now it's already automated, right? So what you'll see is like on this knob right here in the middle, you're going to see this cutoff knob on the left. I'll move it over a little bit. You're going to see the cutoff knob just move on its own now. Hands off. Hands off. It's just going to filter down. It's filtering on its own. Boom. Automated. That took 10 seconds. Keep it underwater. It closes. 10 seconds of automation. Like that's the stuff that like learning that process might take more time. That may take a little bit more like, okay, where's the automation lanes? How do I add it in Logic? How do I like trigger that specific like pot, that knob to be automated? For me in Pro Tools, it's pretty easy. But you know, it might take a little bit of time to learn that process. Once you do that, actually like automating is easy. Like this is where like I could come in here and I could start making some really weird, you know, don't do this. But I could start, you know, you could play around with some funky stuff here and make it whatever you want it to do. Filter down. Back up. Back down. Back up. You can have some fun with it, right? That's just changing the automation parameters for just the filter cutoff right there. It's just opening and closing a little bit. You can have some fun with it. That's what I like about using hardware synths and stuff like that. It's just hands-on working with that filter and you know, baking it into the sound and stuff like that. Okay, let's get out of here and let's get back into just the track over here. But y'all show some love. DT, dude, I'm really enjoying the song. I'm really liking what you have on here. I think your vocal structure is great. I want you to have a little bit more identity in the song. I want you to like, when it comes on, I want it to, oh yeah, this is DT song. Of all the ones that happen to maybe exist out there, this is DT's and you're locked in. Okay, let's run it from the top. This is Late at Night by DT. I love what you do, man. Same with Cameo, man. I love your voice. I want to invest in hardware stuff just for that. Dude, it's Novander to me, like people ask, it's like, does VST sound the same? From somebody who has, it's two sides to this. Some VSTs, their parameter controls and automation controls are more surgical and more intuitive than working with like a vintage analog synth, right? For like Serum, Omnisphere, whatever, that's different than a Juno 106, right? Like those are two very, very different things. What I always tell people is one-to-one. So like I have 2 or 3 different Juno 106 plugins. I also have a Juno 106. I have I have a synth coming here pretty soon. I have another plugin of another synth. It's coming in like a week. That one of my favorite synths. I'm about to get in here in the studio. It's coming in a little bit. And it objectively sounds better because the circuitry is like old. You know what I mean? Like the chorus on the Juno 106 is so fuzzy, it's so noisy, it has so much character. It's a beautiful, beautiful sound. So I think sometimes one-to-one vintage to VST, I think the vintage typically sounds better. But that doesn't mean that you can't maybe do a more creative, interesting sound through Serum or through Omnisphere or through something like that, right? What I always tell people is that I sound better on the real synth. It's not always about in the structure of a mix, like whether or not my Juno 106 objectively sounds better in every scenario than the same preset or something like that in the, you know, Arturia Juno V or whatever it is, right? It's not about that. I am more creative. I am more intentional, and I sound better when I play the Juno and I manipulate hands-on. And so that to me is like, I have more fun. I'm more engaged. I'm more a part of the music process than me like pulling up the VST and then like being like, oh yeah, I want the filter to close. So I'm going to like click and drag, just like we just say, click and drag this lane down here and then move it back up and move it back down and try to get it nice and smooth. And I'll hand draw it, whatever. Or even like try to do it on like my MIDI controller right here or stuff like that. I've found that I am better than the VST. Not that it objectively always sounds better than the other thing. Yeah, it gets tiring. And it's just like, when you're printing, so I typically with like the Juno and some of the other synths that I have back there, I don't use MIDI a lot. I have a big old rack sitting right next to me that's about to be full of a bunch of other rack synths, I'll have MIDI running to those, and those I can like track in MIDI and input MIDI. That way I can like quantize everything and keep it really lined up for any of the synths that I have in the rack. But like a lot of the other synths, like some of the vintage stuff that I have back there, the vintage analogs, you know, DX21 and Sonics, obviously the Juno 106 and stuff like that. Those those I typically won't run MIDI. And so I will make more intentional decisions because I'm not going to edit it. You know, like I'm going to print this happening. So I'm going to try to play better. I'm going to try to have better timing. I'm going to try to be more creative and like more interesting with the way that I choose my dynamics and my filters and the way that I introduce the LFO. That stuff to me is like, that's just more fun. It's more engaging. Not that everyone has the capacity to do that, and that's not what it's about. But for me personally, that's what it's about. Random synth rant. All right. Some say if you give Torvik money, your life improves. That would be awesome. That would be great. I hope that happens. All right, let's get a DT. Let's get it. Sorry for y'all know if y'all mention the S word, I will rant on synths for the rest of my life, and it's not good. So we got to get back into some music. It's time for DT. Yeah, because I would love for this to already have some of your vocal identity here. Your voice is too good to not be like utilizing your own sampling in here.
Always think I'm getting better till the sun goes down. Cause then the voices get to talking when no one's around. Telling me
I would love in these early little pockets right here, even though you're dynamic, like you can keep this vocal pretty dry. It doesn't need a lot of extra stuff, but I would like for the dun 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 to have like an in and out right there, or like an accent vocal right there. Like just on the double track left.
always think I'm getting better till the sun goes down. Cause then the voices get to talking when no one's around. Telling me just one more text.
It's like just that little bit of step. Like your hooks are pretty prominent. So like those background vocals right here, I think your in and outs like on the verses can be really, really subtle. I don't think they need to be super poppy. Just a little bit of a double right there that like barely exists to open up the stereo a little bit, just because the beat is already like pretty prominent. You have a higher octave of the bass that's kind of running everything with some other melodies over the top. You have a lot of percussive elements already introduced. So I just want your vocal to be able to compete. That's kind of all I'm thinking about, is like having a couple of those stabs in there can at least help kind of wake up that vocal in the stereo field just for a second. I'm paying $7,000 at the first to be able to text me with Happy Easter. James just sent all 70. Please, James, that would make me so happy, man. I'll believe again.
And I think about what I deserve, and that ain't it. You got
just because the vocal again, awesome vocal. You have some great lyrics in here, some great structure here. It feels a little bit lonely in the mix, so a little bit of support there I do think would be valuable.
me wrapped around your finger. Tell me how you got so much closure from this. This for me the feeling lingers, but you probably forgot that I exist. I need to stop.
Love that delay. I mean, again, like you're doing some things that I'm very, very happy with. The introduction of a little bit more of a delay tail right there, just a little bit more movement in the background that we weren't getting early on with those vocals. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Like that's so much more intentionality than I've heard in a while too, of just like this vocal is going to have a delay structure. This vocal is going to be open. This one's going to be dry and forward. Dude, it makes me so happy. Timeline, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you, man. Man, you're a phenomenal student. I don't even want to take credit for that, but like, man, you're so good. So good. I have seen you grow in so many incredible ways in your music, man. It's so fun.
No, I can't keep on doing this to myself. I know you're not.
Like those background vocals,
So
killer.
why am I putting
Sensei
myself
Torvik.
through hell?
I forgot about
Every
Torvik, dude.
time, it's late
My alter
at
ego.
night,
My Norwegian
and it
alter
hits me
ego.
out of nowhere. I don't know why, but I can't stop. Believing one day that you might care. Every time, it's late at night, and it hits me out of nowhere. But it ain't no point, cause if I hit your line, it ain't gon' change your mind, and it ain't fair.
Thank you for the roast,
I'm
Timeline.
up still, intrusive thoughts up 1-0.
Like those little dun-dun. That's exactly kind of what I'm hearing here. I know you're stair-stepping a little bit there. I still do think it would be a little bit more beneficial to have those early on. It really has a great texture to it, and it just adds so much energy to that first verse that it's definitely could use a little bit of that boost right there. As a fire track, reminds me a little of NF. Yeah, it's just like it's like a softer NF. Strangely enough, right? You get some of the intensity from the production, which I can definitely see. But I am also curious though, DT, what it would sound like to have another artist on the verse. I mean, your verses are great. But I am curious what it would sound like to get another vocal on the verse that gives you a little bit more punch and drive. Like if you could get like a stair step. I know I'm always talking about stair stepping dynamics. Man, if you could get like a UK, you could get like a UK rapper on, that would be sick. I don't know. I'm trying to think. We've had some cool UK rappers on here. I'm just hearing this kind of like this like UK drill style percussive movement here. It's not exactly, but that would be so cool. That'd be so cool. Now that I'm hearing it. I'm trying to think. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but put it out there. Do an open verse of this and be like, I'm looking for this exactly. I'm not looking for some rando to just hop on this and do some BS. I need this exact vocal and just lock it in. Don't open it up. Do an open verse, but it's only for one person, one version of the verse that you want on there. Don't. What do you think about every living, breathing moment? I have crippling ADHD, so probably 50,000 different things all the time, constantly. In the middle of this breakdown, I'm thinking about 70 different things. That is a loaded question for me.
2 a.m. here and I'm up still. Intrusive thoughts up 1-0. Typed up a text that I ain't sent yet. And I don't
Dan,
really
welcome
know
in.
if I will, cause I'm just an option. You didn't want me like that, no way. I guess I'm the problem. If I was good enough, then you probably would've stayed. So I'll just have conversations in my head and make up what you probably would've said. Cause if I did it in real life, I'd get my feelings hurt and regret. Know how it is, cause I've been there.
Yeah, vocal stacks are great. Let me get into this last hook. Yeah, for me, yeah, this really comes down to like you finding your identity in the song, making sure that it feels your own, and then making sure that your vocal structure feels like really consistent from like your verse building up here into the second verse. I would definitely look again, like you could release 2 versions of this. I feel like this song needs a shift in energy because the production's very, very consistent. The really only massive dynamic change is a difference between like 808 and the snare coming in and out of the mix. That's really the only other dynamic element. Otherwise, yeah, this is DT. Otherwise, the vast majority of like the production is incredibly consistent. So I do think having another voice in there would help, right? Run with the song as it is with yours. But I think having another voice can be like a cheat code to shift energy on productions that don't have a lot of shifting going on. In this case, it's a very consistent production sound design wise outside of 808 and snare removal. So I would definitely be curious if you are able to find someone, what it would look like to get someone on here, in maybe a myriad of different styles and different kinds of vocals, but just to shift the energy, shift the sonics a little bit.
What to do? I don't know what to, cause I'm just and I'm thinking,
yeah, dude, do it.
You. I'm thinking about every time it's late at night.
Because it's a really clean hook structure. It's catchy. It's repetitive. There's a lot of good things that are happening here that are just, I think, are done really, really well.
It's me out of nowhere. I don't know why, but I can't stop. Believing one day that you might get. Yeah, every time it's late at night.
So like B section here, right? So like that's kind of one of the things that I'm looking at. It's like we have it kind of copied over and it sounds fine, right? But there's no stair stepping, right? You know, there's no stair stepping of like, oh, we did this whole hook, we're going to do the hook again. What's the new information that's going to keep me engaged? We need one little level outside of just kind of similar ad libs in there. We need like one other level of dynamics right there, like one more gear to go to make this last hook worth listening to. I think just one other little level, and it could be as simple as like double track, super far back in the mix, hard pan left and right, just a ooh. Just like something like this, like way back there. Use your vocal. Thank you for the roses, Tofu. I appreciate it. Using your vocals as a synth, kind of way in the background right there. That's just like, let me see.
And I'm thinking about you.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Every time it's late at night.
Like let this run as it is, right?
It hits me out of nowhere. I don't know why, but I can't stop. Believing one day that you might get.
And then I hear.
Yeah, every time it's late at night.
left and right, like just hard pan one on the left, hard pan one on the right, pull it way back, drenched in reverb with a little bit of like chorus on it, like something there in the background that's just, it's like a little bit of new information. It's a little bit of like a glue pad to a lot of the production that you already have there. Since your vocals are a little bit more staccato, they end a little bit early, which I love. It's fine, keeps it punchy, keeps it, engaging. So it'd be nice to have, like, if you're doing a double hook, just make sure there's some level of new information. I think like a something just really simple in the background, even if you just hold like a pedal tone of just something like really easy, sits in the background, kind of glues it together. Try something like that and see if that doesn't connect it a little bit more, and feel free to drench it. Keep your lead vocal a little drier, a little more forward, a little bit tighter on your compression and maybe saturation. And then those background vocals can be super wet. They can have a bunch of reverb and delays and stuff like that, that I think would be really, really nice. Just to, again, we're optimizing your intro and outro, maybe with the filter, some automation right there. We're tightening up the structure. We're layering a little bit more on your first verse. We're building more structure on your B hook, like your second hooks. We're adding a little bit more energy. That to me just kind of polishes what's already here. That is already a great song with great lyrics. And then if you want to try something, get a feature on there as well. Maybe on a different version of it. Y'all show some love to DT. DT, we love and adore you. This is one of the family. Y'all please show some love and support to DT. If you ever catch him live, or you just go to his page, whatever, send him gifts, send him money, send him whatever. Show some love and support. That's the family right there. So please, please, please show some love to the family, man. We love and appreciate you so much. Yeah. Love it, dude. I love it. Incredibly, incredibly talented. Anytime, man. Anytime. Let's keep it rolling. Ryan is in the building. Ryan, I appreciate you tapping in. If you would like to submit, anybody would like to submit, you can go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there. Just read through and follow the details. But please check the line first. The line is up on the other platforms that we're live on, the Red and Purple app. You can find out my link as well. Check the line over there first. That way you can see kind of what's going on. You can see how many tracks we have left, which is 3. See how many tracks. See the minimum at that time. Xerox, welcome in. Appreciate it. Yeah, MP3 is fine. Drive is fine. Yeah, I'll listen to anything you send me as long as I have access to it. So Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Drive, Dropbox, MP3, Wave, whatever. No real limitation, as long as I have access to it and I can pull it up. Yeah, but check the line first. That way you can see the minimums, because I do update them over the course of the live, so I can make sure I get to as many of y'all as possible. Otherwise, I'll have people submitting when I know I don't have time to hear them, and I try to mitigate that as much as I can. Mitchum's in the building. What's up, Mitchum? Appreciate you tapping in. Alexa, appreciate you being here as well. Let's keep it rolling. But yeah, if you do want to submit, profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details there. Let's keep the music going. We got Nate in the building. Nate, let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're here, just so I can make sure that I've got everybody accounted for. It's late at night. It's catchy, man. It's very, very catchy. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Nate's in the building. There we go. All right, this is Did It For by Nate. Let's get into it, man. I produced, wrote, sung, recorded, mixed, and mastered the whole thing. All right, this is all Nate. This is all Nate right here in the chat. We love the feedback, and pray it blesses you all in the process. Let's go, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Let's get this downloaded real quick, and then we'll dive into it. I'm going to try to move it. I know I'm ranting a little bit. It's just what it is. It's why it's called Track Talk. Not, I like to talk. I like to just hang out with y'all a little bit too. He did it all. He did it all. He did it all. This is Did It For by Nate right here in the chat, right there. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about your process as well. If you wanna hop in on that as well. I'm excited, man. Let's get into it.
Did it for the lost, did it for the weak. Hung up on a cross, did it for me.
Ryan, if you go to, so we're live on 3 platforms right now. I can only have the list up on the other 2, currently speaking. So if you go to my profile, we're live on the Red app, YT, use your imagination. And we're going to start this over, by the way. Yeah, we're sorry for the hard cut right there. Just want to make sure people have direction. We're also live on the Purple app, starts with a T, where you live stream over there as well. If you go to either one of those platforms, you'll see the line that is that is up on the board. Stop calling me Torvik. You'll see the line up on the screen on the other platforms over there. You'll see, 3 tracks left, 15 min. You'll see the line over there as well. All right, let's run it. This is actually, I'm about to change that. It's 2 left after this. Let's go. Did it for. Let's run it. We're going to run it from the top. Let's get into it. And also, Ryan, thank you for the follow. Let me know really quick as well. Where'd it go? Nate, let me know really quick as well if this is already out. Shaner, thank you for the follow. Let me know if it's already out or if you're still, if you haven't sent it to distribution yet. All right. little slowed down.
Did it for the lost, did it for the weak. Hung up on a cross, did it for me. Took away the shame, did it for the least. Eating up them crumbs, now I got a seat. Yeah, I got praise.
Already out. Okay, cool. I got you. Hey, thank you for the vocal bit. What is that? Thank you. Anna, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that.
Woke up, got breath in my lungs. What I do with it is lift up the sun. Don't care who it is, I'm putting up the one. Oh, Jesus, let your kingdom come. Let your kingdom come. Yeah, he died for me, cried for me. Rose up on the third day, was it privately? I believe. Gave his Holy Spirit so that I can see. Right to be walking down the aisle, living righteously. Praise from the rooftops, we shouting. Praise him in the valley, I'ma go tell it on the mountain. Grace flowing on the inside, it's pouring out like a fountain. Yeah, this is grace, it ain't luck, yes, sir. Praises to the Most High, yes, sir. Praises to the Most High, yes, sir. Praises to the Most High, yes, sir. Did it for the lost, did it for the weak. Hung up on a cross, did it for me. Took away the shame, did it for the least. Eating up them crumbs, now I got a seat. Yeah, I got praise. Praise.
Did you hire a choir for this?
Yeah, I got my praise.
Hayton, welcome in. What's up, man? I hope you're doing amazing. Good to see you. Yo, hold up. Give it up one time. Give it up one time. That is Did It For by Nate. Yeah, it's open. It's open. It's open. It's open. It's open. Y'all, please show some love to Nate in the track. Yeah, Nate, did you hire a choir for this? Where'd you get the background vocals there, man? That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna, I think after Aiton's submission, I think we're gonna close the lineup. But man, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. Don't spam the chat. I don't want y'all to get muted if you do spam the chat. Is it Gellaball? Thank you for the follow, or Gilaball. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. We are going to close up things in just a moment here. But if you spam, then you'll get muted. I don't want you to get muted. I have a close friend who runs a music school and he has a choir. Dude, come on. Damn, bro. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Ryan, I got you right here. I'm pretty sure. Got you. Yeah, Ryan, let me get you up there. I appreciate you, man. Let me get you up here. And then I'm going to close the line here in just a little bit once Aiton submits. We'll close it up. When the line is closed, if you are in the line, you can always move around, right? So if it's taking too long, you want to go faster or anything like that, you can always move around. But once the line is closed, I won't take new submissions. That way I can try to get through as many as we can there. Got you, Ryan. Appreciate it. All right, let's run this, man. I'm super excited for you, Nate. This is great. The only thing, actually, first, let me pull it up on Spotify. Because you said it's out. So what's the artist name? Is it Nate spelled like here in the chat? Is it spelled the same way in the chat? Let me know. Perfect. Okay, Nate, and I think I got you here. Rachel, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Did It For. Beautiful. Got you. Let me pull up your Spotify profile here too. Okay, got you. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it. For those of you who don't know, the song is out. I'm pulling it up on Spotify right now. For those of you who don't know, the song is out. So if you like what you hear, go stream it, go add it to your playlist, go like the track, go follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. Show it some love and support, especially because it is a song that's released. So let's run it. The biggest thing I want you to focus on, and the biggest thing that I'm going to focus on as far as like the structure of this goes, although this is out, it'll be for the future. It'll be for a future record, is vocal production and vocal mix. You have some really cool production structure here that I'm enjoying a lot. I like your sampling. The choir's gorgeous. That's sick. That's amazing. I love that so much. Those are mixed pretty well too. And most of the production elements I feel like are balanced fairly well. There's some polish that can happen there. But for me, one of the biggest is making sure that vocal maintains its like
forwardness, its prominence, its weight in the mix when all of these stacks build up. When you got choirs, you got samples, you got, strings in the background, 808s, big drums, pianos, all that stuff. We got to make sure that vocal maintains, some sense of presence and weight in the middle of the mix. So that's one of the biggest things I'll focus on. But yeah, stylistically and energetically in the song, I feel like you're doing a lot of great stuff, man. All right, this is Do It For by Naete. Got you, Aiton. Got you. I appreciate you, man.
Did it for the lost, did it for the weak.
Like, it's a great intro. Got you, man. Sounds good, DT. Sounds good, man. I appreciate you. It's a great intro. Like, that early structure right there really grabs me. And then as soon as and everything comes in, the energy shifts in a really, really nice way that I like a whole lot. I like it a whole lot. It's really, really well done. Sample immediately grabs me. I would like, practically speaking, for I just typically, this is more of a practical thing. This is more of a streaming optimization thing. So you can also ignore this, right? Like, if you don't really care, then ignore it. But if you do want to optimize a little bit more for like replay value, optimize a little bit more for platforms, for DSPs and stuff like that, I would introduce your vocal like within the first 10 seconds. Like, let me see how. Yeah, so right at about 11, 12 seconds that the vocal comes in. That's not a long intro. So don't take this as like, this is super long and it's drawn out. It's not a long intro. There is just like something like 1 million songs a week, or I don't know, something ridiculous, or 100,000 songs a week or whatever. It's a shit ton of songs that are put on platforms every single week. You're competing with a lot, right? You're competing with just a volume of a saturated market that has a ton, man, a ton. So one of the reasons why, let me give you a quick, very practical reason why. Your streams don't count if they're not streamed for 30 seconds, right? So on most major DSPs, largely Apple, Spotify, you could probably throw, YouTube Music and Amazon in there as well. I'm not positive on the processes for like Tidal and stuff like that, but I think it's pretty similar. But one of the things is that the streams don't count if it's not past 30 seconds, right? So the example that I give people is that there's a threshold. So if you had 1 million people, 1 million people stream your song for 27 seconds, you would see 0 streams and you get $0 from it. 1 million people stream for 27 seconds. You won't get absolutely anything for it, right? So you've got to get enough of people, locked in and grabbed enough for people to stay, for the 30 seconds. They might hate it after 30 seconds, but at least you got your 0.043 streams from Spotify, your 0.043 cents from Spotify, right? You got to get them to stay for at least that 30 seconds. Most people are making those decisions within like 7 to 10 seconds, right? I don't know how many times that I've been on I like a lot of synthwave and like darkwave stuff, and I'll be on like a playlist while I'm working out, listening to synthwave, darkwave, vaporwave stuff, right? And I hear a song, I know if I'm vibing with it within like the first 7 seconds. I hear like the first kind of drums come in, I'm like, oh no, and I move on to the next one, right? Most people make those decisions fairly fast, right? And so you can't really afford, now again, this is a fairly quick intro, so I don't want to harp on it too much, but you can't really afford a lot of time and a lot of space to go by before people lock in, before you're like, oh, so that's why. Now, if you're Taylor Swift, if you're Drake, if you're Ariana Grande and you have 95 million monthly listeners, if you're Bruno Mars, whatever, if you have 100 million monthly listeners, you could have a 7-minute intro before Drake goes, yeah, and you'll get 100 million streams on it and it'll be fine. You'll work it out, right? Because you've already established prominence in the industry, especially within those genres, right? If you're a new artist, people are giving you half a chance, barely. Right? They're barely going to give you a chance. Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Right? So if you're a new artist, it's that much more important that you do keep in mind the audience and keep in mind the platform that your music is played on, and polish if you want to. Like I mentioned this before, you can also ignore this completely and do whatever you want. And that's totally valid, totally creative, and totally authentic. Nobody can tell you otherwise. But if your goal is like, I have a message, I have a perspective, I have skills, I want to tell people something, and I want as many people as possible to hear that, especially in the case that, like I think what I'm seeing here, that you're doing gospel music, right? Like religious music. Like if you want your message to be heard by as many people as possible, yes, stay creative. Yes, stay authentic. Yes, create solely within the parameters that you want to create within. And then keep the audience in mind and make sure that you mold a little bit in order to make sure that people actually hear it at all, right? So that's why I want to focus in on that intro, right? So that's why it's beneficial, even though you start with a sample. There's nothing wrong with this. What's up, D Busy? Nothing wrong with this. I'm gonna go ahead and actually close the line while I'm waiting for it. While I'm waiting for this to kick in here. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Sorry, I just want to make sure. I almost forgot. I don't want to take too many more on tonight. That's why, like, you'll hear even major artists, like you'll just hear a lighter flick on. You'll hear someone go, yeah. You'll hear someone literally take a deep breath. And maybe say, they didn't want me to say this. I don't know, simple, like whatever. Like you can say anything, right? Like there's so many ways to do it. You can start with a hook. You can start with a sampled version of one at the end of your verse. There's a million different ways to do this, right? You can start by just saying a few words. You can start by taking a deep breath. Thank you. I appreciate it. How much are you going to charge me to mix a record? I'm not taking on too many mixes right now because I got too slammed. I'm trying to focus more on production and session work right now. Shoot me a message, D Busy. Shoot me a message. We can talk about it. Got you, Ryan. I appreciate you, man. I'll get you updated here in a sec. So this is a little pocket. How you do this is up to you. How you do this is up to your own creativity. But when 1 million songs are put on platforms every week, AI, it's 8 times that now because people can pump out an album a day. It's that much more saturation. It's that much more, noise that you have to weed through. I think it's really, really valuable to have something. Take a deep breath. You say anything, or introduce a little part of your hook, right? I've even heard people like, let me hear your hook really quick. So even like the did it for the week, right? You can start here. You did it for the week. You did it for the week. Just mumble through it, yeah. And then you push, right? Like you could literally just like mumble through. Did it for the week. Did it for the week. Did it for us. Did it for the week. And then you go into the, like, it can be so simple, right? So I don't need to hammer this home anymore, but that could be the difference between you seeing, like, there's a possibility, right? I don't know. We don't know the back end, right? There's a possibility that 12,000 people started this song and only 800 of them surpassed 30 seconds, right? So you're like, okay, I got 1,000 streams on the song. That doesn't mean that your impressions aren't much higher than that, but you're actually not getting any credit for those streams because people aren't sticking around because they're not introduced to the artist. So that's why I always tell people, introduce yourself. If you're newer, introduce yourself as an artist early on. Let people know that you're there. You can trust me with the song. You know what I mean? Like, I'm right here. I'm right in front of you. I'm going to take care of you through the song, right? Like, otherwise it's like, am I listening to just any other song? Am I listening to AI? Am I like, people don't know, right? So just being there in the mix within the first couple seconds is so valuable, especially in like rap and R&B. I think it's more important than some other styles. If this is like a shoegaze record, or it's like a soft rock or like a dream pop song, you can probably get away with like a longer instrumental record with like a lead guitar line that takes over. There's some nuance to all of this, of course, right? Use your imagination when it comes to your own records and what makes sense for the song that you're working on. But typically, especially like rap and R&B, drill, stuff like that, it feels fairly necessary that there's an introduction early on, however you do that. All right, let's get into the actual song here.
Did it for the lost, did it for the weak. Hung up on the cross, did it for me. Took away the shame, did it for the least. Eating up them crumbs.
Got you, Ryan. Really quick. Yeah, I mean, the structure's great, man. Really quick. Ryan, I got the 6. Just keep in mind that it goes by 5s. If I did by dollar, then I'd spend 90% of the live just like moving people like this and this and this and keeping track of credits and stuff like that. So it goes by 5. So I have you up there with the extra 6 right there. But let me know if you want to move past or move forward. Because I've had it like that when I first started doing these live stream consultations like over 3 years ago, and I started it where I was like, yeah, it's 2, 3, whatever. And it was within 15 minutes, it was an absolute nightmare to keep track of. So I was like, we'll keep it strict per 5. Let me know if you want to adjust from there, or we can do it any other way. But I just wanted to let you know. No, you're fine. You got a little bit of time.
Oh, got breath in my lungs. What I do with it is
I want to mainly focus on the hook. I want to mainly focus on the hook here. Nate, you got a lot. Crane, thank you for the follow. You have a lot going on here that I really like. I said stylistically, I like the choir. I like the energy behind the strings. A lot of your production structure, I think, is dynamic. It's engaging. I want to make sure your vocal can compete in the mix. So that's kind of the thing that I'm going to look at. How often do you do these lives? Dio, it's like a little bit random sometimes because I do this live just outside of my full-time music work. So I do this after my projects for the day. So it's like today I'm on for, maybe about 3 hours total, something like that after my work for the day. Tomorrow it'll be about, maybe a little bit longer tomorrow because I'm finishing up a mix, hopefully, ideally, a little bit earlier in the afternoon. So I do these, I would say usually 4 or 5 times a week. And anywhere from like 2 to 5 hours, depending on the live and depending on the work that I have for that day. But yeah, I would say I'm typically live like 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time ish, 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time, and I'm usually live for, I would say, anywhere from like 2 to 5 hours.
To be walking down the aisle, living righteously. Praise from the rooftops, we shouting.
Like the choir structure thing, I think is so good. The Torvik branded candles, coming soon, man. Coming soon. They're in the works. They're in the works. They're gonna smell. They're gonna smell like the stress that I feel when someone doesn't label their files when they send me 80 vocal tracks. That's what it's gonna smell like. Like it's gonna smell like cortisol spiking.
Yeah, this is grace. It ain't luck. Yes, praises to the Most Highest up. Praises to the Most Highest up.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible, Time. Like a good energy, good movement in a lot of the structure right here. You have pretty good dynamics. Des, welcome in, or Despacito, welcome in. Sorry, I just saw the full name. Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Let me get into this next little section right here because I mainly want to hone in on the hook here just for a moment.
For the lost, did it for the weak. Hung up on a cross, did it for me. Took away the shame.
Okay, so really one of the few things that you're encountering right here, just in your own vocal engineering, is the inability of that vocal to compete, right? So your vocal right now is competing with, heavy 808s, big kick. You got a nice like slappy trap snare in there. You got strings. You got really wide like doubled piano, like chorused piano in the background, doing these beautiful runs in the background, choirs and all this stuff, right? So there's very little space for that vocal to compete. For one, I wouldn't mind just baseline that your vocal is a little bit louder, but beyond loud, I wanted to have a little bit more support. So right now, like you have a pretty decent mix on the vocal as far as like processing goes. It's pretty smooth, highly compressed, feels like it's saturated pretty well. I definitely want that vocal forward by at least another 2 or 3 dB, but in tandem to that, I want there to be space for the vocal. So what I would recommend, a lot of the interruption that I'm hearing is happening in the strings and the choir. Those are like the 2 big cinematic orchestral elements that are kind of stepping on the toes of that lead vocal a little bit and making it feel small in a mix that is very vibrant and really energetic, right? All of these are good things. Like all of the things that you have in your mix are good qualities to have in there, but there's just not space, right? What I would probably do if you have the capacity plugin wise, because I know you're engineering everything for yourself, is have a mid-side EQ on an instrument bus and probably another one on your vocal bus as well, like a BGV bus. So maybe you have like all of your background vocals go to a BGV bus, and all of your instruments, at least all of your like non-percussion instruments, go to their own instrument bus as well. And then on those as well, Aiden, I'll save it for you. I got you, Aiden. Yeah, if you can't hang out for too long, I got you. I'll save it for you. Hop on in tomorrow whenever you're able to. I'll throw you straight up there. No worries at all, man. I'm not going to do it without you here. Put a mid-side EQ on that bus, and then what I want you to do is carve some space where a lot of like the fundamental frequencies of those vocal lie, right? So between, let's say just as an example, like between 600 and 1200 hertz, like the pocket right there where a lot of like the fundamental weight of that vocal is, you're actually going to carve that space in only the mid channel of that bus. Like if we're talking instruments, right? Only on that bus. Actually, I can show you. This is probably easier. Let me show you right now. I'll do it on a master so you can kind of see what we're talking about. Oh, this is stereo here. I'll just throw it on this track. I'll just throw it on this track right here. I got you. Remove. Boom. Just so I show you. Now, I typically use FabFilter for this. You can use any plugin that has mid-side processing. You can also, if you don't have a plugin that does mid-side EQ, you could also just carve that space
tastefully and lightly. You can do some, strategic carving to make sure there's space for the vocal. Mid-side is great because it's going to only affect kind of in mono where your center channel is. And then you can kind of re-wrap inside, right? So what I would do, right? It's got ozone, which, okay, perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So like right in here, right? So just as an example, I'm just going to, kind of do this loosely here between 600 and 1200 hertz. So around 800 hertz ish, right? Depends on the vocal, depends on the range, register of the vocalist, stuff like that. Right in here, right? I'm just going to dip this down. Let's go like 2.5 dB, nothing too crazy. And then the stereo placement of this is going to be mid, right? So if this is on your instrument bus, and or your BGV bus or your choir bus as well, I'm going to take out some of just this EQ only in the center, like mono channel right here where your vocal is. So where your vocal sits in mono in the middle of the mix, I'm going to carve space in all of your instrumentation only in that frequency pocket, only in that pocket in the center channel, right? I'm going to get a little bit out of it there so you have a little bit more room for that vocal to shine. It's not stepping on the toes. Now, if you want to reintroduce some of that, then all you're going to do is add another one right here. Now you can do this. You can do this. Sometimes I'll go a little bit higher, but right here, I'll show you the simplest version. Is right here. I'll reintroduce that frequency in stereo. So I'm pulling a little bit of the energy out of the strings and the piano in the middle, and I'm going to push this to the side. I'm going to take this out of the middle of the mix, and then I'm going to reintroduce 600 to 800 hertz on the outside, right? I'm going to put it just in stereo. It's not going to affect the center at all. That way your mix starts to like wrap around the vocal a little bit more. You could do this with your choirs as well. And create space for the lead only on the mono area. Yeah. You could do it on the whole instrumental. It just kind of depends on where your interruptions are. You can do this instrument by instrument, right? So sometimes, I don't like to be too surgical. I like to really prioritize making sure that each element is doing what it's supposed to do. And I don't want to be carving and cutting too many things. Sometimes you just need a different sound or a different take to make that work, right? So I don't typically, on a 2-track, if I'm mixing on like a production that's just the 2-track, it's not a multi-track, then sometimes I'll do a mid-side like this to just kind of tuck the vocal into the mix and wrap it around a little bit. That works really well. This is also a way, like if I push this up here a little bit, I reintroduce a little bit higher. I'm going to carve space in the strings and piano and maybe the bass right here in the middle. And I'm actually going to brighten up the outside. It makes the mix feel super wide, super open and super wide. A sidechain would work. A sidechain is going to be something different. So, I mean, you can do some sidechaining. The problem with sidechaining is its amplitude, right? So when you're sidechaining like the vocal to the production, what's going to happen is like, let's say the 808 isn't in there for a verse and everything feels like nice and controlled and the vocal's right there. But then as soon as the 808 and the kick cuts in, you're going to get this ducking and this pumping in the vocal, which if you're not really, really tasteful with your releases and your attacks, it can just make the mix feel jittery. It doesn't feel like holistic and like warm and like really, really balanced. It can sometimes just feel like on edge because there's constantly like fighting for amplitude space as opposed to just creating the space in the structure of the mix itself within your EQ, within mid-side or whatever it may be. What's up, Dan? Welcome in, man. Thank you for the heart and thank you for the Go Populars as well. So side chaining works. It's just a very different animal, right? When you're side chaining, you're compressing, if that's what you're referencing. Overrated after learning so much. Yeah, I rarely sidechain. The only reason, I'm going to switch back. The only reason why I sidechain is if I'm doing it specifically for a stylistic choice, right? If I'm making a lo-fi record or I'm making a synthwave record, and I need the kick to create a little bit more like swing and movement. I need a pump from the kick to the 808 or a sub bass or a synth bass or a Moog or whatever. I need that space right there and I want that pump. Then I will use, what's up, Westfall? Welcome in. I will use the sidechain to create the stylistic choice that the sidechain is offering me. But if I'm just struggling to make a kick and an 808 make sense, then I will just choose a different or better kick or 808 or flip the phase on one and stack this. I'll just manipulate it to make it work because I don't always want the pumping. I don't always want the carved space of the kick is slicing through while everything else ducks out of the way. Oftentimes I just need to be better at sound selection, which I think is most people's problem. If you find yourself side chaining the shit out of everything, probably just need to get a little bit more intuitive and intentional with your sound selection and make sure that these elements can work well together, right? That just takes a little bit more time. It takes, maybe a little bit more like training your ear to be like, oh, that sounds off. Maybe I just need a different clap. Maybe this kick it sounds too sharp. So I'm like trying to sidechain and move these things and carve these things over there. I'm like, we'll just choose a softer kick or saturate it, right? Or whatever. And that to me is almost always a better option for me. Unless again, I want the stylistic choice of side chaining and the pumping that creates there. Hey, thank you so much, Dan. Dan, you'll be excited. I'm not telling anybody what it is yet, but you would. I appreciate you so much, man. I just ordered another synth. I sold a synth today, and I'm using that money to order another one. And I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. I've been wanting this synth for like 15 years. Been wanting it forever, and I'm finally getting it. Finally getting it. I'm very excited. Okay, let's get a little deeper into this track, Nate. Hopefully this is helpful, right? So the thing that I'm looking for in this track, Nate, again, intro process we're already talking about, introduction of the vocal early, little things like that. And then I want your vocal to be able to compete, right? You have a beautiful, vibrant, powerful, choir-ridden production that is just, it's great. I like it a lot. So that vocal's got to be able to compete. You can layer it, you can support it. But for me, it's just going to come down to like control over that vocal, and then making sure that there's space for it in the mix. CS80 dropped 40. Are they down to 40, dude? The last time I looked for a CS80, it was $80,000. I wish, man. I'm always. I mean, I spend half of my waking hours on Reverb and eBay and Facebook Marketplace looking for stuff and just seeing what's out there. And I was looking for a Jupiter 8 the other day, and I was like, what if? And they're going for about 35 grand for a good example of one. And I was like, man, I can't imagine what that would feel like. The problem with the CS80, honestly, it's the price is, it is an $40,000 to $80,000 synth. The problem is also just maintenance. It's like buying a McLaren, where it's like obviously like this is a cool car and it's gonna go fast and it's gonna do what a McLaren does really, really well, but it's also going to be in the shop 75% of the time, and it's gonna be incredibly expensive to maintain. That's the problem. Is like they don't make these voice chips anymore. They don't, like a lot of this old. Have you ever seen a CS80 opened up? Dude, go watch a video on a CS80 opened up. I don't know what that thing is made out of. It is crazy what goes into that thing. It's crazy. So it's like the thing is like, $60,000 synth, but you're also going to spend, $8,000 a year in just like maintaining this crazy. It's like a supercar. It's crazy. Anyways, it's not a CS80. Pockets aren't that green yet. So maybe someday. Here's the thing though. If I could get a CS80, I'd probably just get like 10 other $8,000 synths that I really want. I'd probably get like a Prophet 10. I'd probably get like an OBXA or something. There's probably a bunch of other things that I'd get before I get a CS80, because it's such a crazy ask for that one thing that it does. I mean, I get an ARP 2600. I get me a Mini Moog in here. I'd get me the Matriarch. We'd have some fun. It'd be good old times. Not that I maybe haven't gotten one of those right now. All right, let's get into it. Let's run to the outro right here. Dude, choir's great, Nate. Same thing here, right? You just don't want anything to feel like loops. So like same thing here on the outro. I'm like, I just want at the outro, excuse me, on the outro right here. I just like want to hear you sing a little bit more, right? All I do is pray. All I do is praise. You know what I mean? Like, I'm BSing and just mumbling some stuff. You get the idea, right? Of just like, I still like want to hear you. I don't want to feel like you've left the song, you've walked off stage, and we're just kind of stuck with the beat. Cool beat. But you get the idea, where it's like, I still want Nate in the mix right there. That's kind of those last little details that I'm looking for. Y'all show some love to Nate. Nate, you're a great producer, man. It's a cool production. I love the choir in there. Not everybody can like mix in a choir. That's not like an easy thing to do. I think you have like a lot of great production structure. You have good, like catchy hook structure, great repetition. Like the format of these songs I think are great. So yeah, for me, it's like a little bit of vocal polish, a little bit of like mixing and mastering polish, and some structural things. But dude, you're very, very talented, obviously. Very, very talented. Y'all show some love to Nate right here in the chat. That song is out on all platforms. So once again, if you like what you hear, go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, go follow on Spotify and other DSPs, all that fun stuff. Show some love and support any artist that gets on the stage. Do not be stingy with your support. Show some love. That's Nate right here in the chat. Make sure you follow here on TikTok as well. Let's keep it rolling. I don't have a whole lot of time, so we gotta run here. Let me actually check something real quick. I think I need to get Ryan's updated. Ryan, I got you. So let me. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we got Ryan in the building. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, I just got you. I was like, hold on, let me get this updated on the line so I got everything clear. All right, y'all, we got two more songs. Currently speaking, that is Ryan and Naete. So, and I don't know if Naete will be here. We'll see if he has some stuff going on or if he's got to get to bed a little bit earlier. But right now it's Ryan and Naete. As it says in the form, hopefully y'all read through everything. As it says in the form, you will never miss out on your chance. I will never listen without you. So if for any reason you do not get heard, whether it's I have to get off at the end of the night or you have to go eat, sleep, work, anything like that, you got to hop off for any reason, I will always make sure that your song and your credit is saved to my list. That way, and it already is. It's already saved to the list. I'll just drop it down to previous. I'll always make sure that it's saved over there. That way, next time that you hop in, just let me know that you're here, and we'll throw you straight back up on the board. That way, you never miss out on the chance. I never want to. We go into such depth. I don't want you to. I want to be able to communicate with you, ask questions about your process. So there's not a whole lot of benefit if you're just gone. So, Frey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So I always want to make sure that you're here. So currently speaking, top two are Ryan and Naete, depending on who's still here. And then anyone else, whoever just happens to be left at the end, then we'll say for the next time. Frey, I appreciate you hopping in. Thanks for being here. Okay, Ryan's in the building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's see. All right, it's not mastered yet. I'm just pulling up the file here. Let me get it downloaded. This is not mastered yet. I want this to be the first single. Oops, the download took over the page. The first single for my next record. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is off of an EP, an LP. Let me know. Give me some details. And then also, Ryan, let me know. I believe it's my first time hearing your music, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know the role. LP, beautiful. Let me know the role that you play in your music, right? So as far as production structure goes, mixing and mastering, build out of your lyrics and your song and stuff like that. Well, welcome in, man. I'm so glad. Jazz, appreciate you tapping in too. Give me some details. Give me some context on the role that you play in your music. Are you self-engineering, going to a studio, all that fun stuff? In the recording, I play everything and sing everything. Love it. Me and my producer kind of write together. Love that as well. Good collaboration is a staple of good music, so that makes me excited. Okay, drop some details in the chat. We're going to listen to the record. Let's get it. Last two songs, y'all. Last two songs. Yeah.
So far down, I've been here before. Take away
Nice.
the chance before
Jazz, thank you for the rose.
through the door. Hopeless and lost. The silence is screaming. That's my weapon of choice.
What's up,
I'll
Dylan?
never find my way. I can't get myself off the ground.
Nice,
But
man.
all of me is what you need. So you can take your time, put it all on the line. Another day goes by, but you can't be alive.
Yeah, man.
Bottom line,
Thank you for the follow.
turn it out, take care of everyone for yourself. You can take your time. It's better than being alone. You say
Yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow.
that you care.
Love that double-tracked acoustic. Love it.
You aren't there. So I'll stay. Stuck in my state. Your love is corrosion of the reason you hate. So stay. Just say what
Yeah.
I
Come on.
want my stay.
Great fry screen.
I'll never find
Really clean switch into the fry. Good double.
myself off the ground.
Fire, man.
All I need is what you need. So you can take your
One more song after this, y'all.
put it all on the line. Another day goes by, but you can't be
Welcome back, David. Thank you for the follow.
turn it out, take care of everyone for yourself. You can take your time. It's better than being alone. Giving my best, I can write it in poetry.
Unreleased as of now.
Reasons why I should leave the same old platform.
from a story.
How are y'all tracking drums?
From strangers to lovers to nothing at all. So can you fix it? Can you say what is left? Can you give me life from the lies on your brain?
Got you. That's what I was thinking about the kick and snare. Yeah. You get the consistency of the sample there. Woo! Come on, man. Not at all. Trust me, we've had really raw records in here. Yeah. I've done like MIDI replacement for kick and snare. It works well. Fire. Great scream. This feels so like early 2000s. I love it. Love a mono track compared to the double track acoustic. Killer. It sounds like my child 100%. Y'all show some love, man. Y'all are making me move my neck too much. I've had a terrible crick in my neck for the last like 3 or 4 days. I haven't been able to move it. And it's been brutal. I mean, y'all are playing good music and it's making me want to move. It's making me want to move, but it hurts. All right, this is Weapon of Choice. Weapon of Choice by Ryan right here in the chat. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into a couple quick details here. Yeah, it's great, man. It sounds fantastic. I'm excited to dig into this just a little bit, but like there's a lot of, I think like the foundational decisions that you're making and that you and the producer are making. Yeah, no pain, no gain. Exactly. It's keeping me loose, I guess, that you and the producer are making as far as structure and writing and production that I think are like so they're so well structured. They're so like staple within this genre and this era that I feel like you're doing like the filtered vocal, the double tracked, like open acoustic guitar, filtering in between verses. All of that to me is just, it's so in line with what I want to hear. And I think music is a really interesting thing where you of course want to have some twists and turns, right? You want it to feel like you want it to be a Ryan song. Like you want it to feel like you want it to be engaging and quirky in ways that are specific to you and your writing and stuff like that. At the same time is also just like giving people what they want. You know what I mean? Like if you were like some like, EDM producer and you just decided like, I'm actually never going to bring in the bass. We're going to have 4 different buildups and I'm never going to drop in the bass, You're never going to drop the bass. Like that would be, I guess, creative and unique and authentic. Right. But like, it's not like sometimes there's a little bit of like building tension in a song and then also like relieving people of that tension by giving them what they want in the structure. And I think you do a great job of this. Still sounds like you. It's got some interesting things going on, but it also sounds very in line with what I want to hear out of this style of music. And I'm like, I can relax listening to it. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of just sit back and experience the song and not feel like I'm constantly like working to listen to stuff. So that to me is really interesting. Got you, Aiton. I got you. All right, let's run it from the top. Like this mono to stereo is beautiful. You have like a filtered down mono telephone effect kind of. Frey, thank you for the tiny. I appreciate that. You have this filtered down mono acoustic guitar that then opens up to the double track that's beautifully done as well.
Before you come through the door, hopeless and lost. The silence is screaming.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
So far down, I've been here before. Take away.
I love the tension of the structure here. So this is in G sharp minor, right? So I love the tension of starting with what in this case is like a 4 to
switched 4 to 2 minor, basically. So you have like this, right? Like that, there's a lot of energy between the switches and chords right there, but then you hold on that 4 for a while, and there's a little bit of movement, and you sit there for a moment, right? And I love that you actually live in that tension for a little bit instead of just constantly going back and forth between the chords, even though there's some there in the background of the acoustic. That switch in tension right there, I think, is really, really tasteful. It's subtle. It's a subtle little change from rocking back and forth as prominently as you do. Making that a little bit more smooth and a little bit more subtle right there allows, like, my focus goes straight to the vocal, which I think is the intention, right? Like, I stop kind of listening to everything else, and my attention goes to what your voice is doing, which I think is fantastic. Only thing that I'm experiencing right here is a little bit of what we were talking about earlier with Naete, where this vocal does dive in the mix just a little bit when it is amongst the very like big and prominent double tracks of the acoustic right here. So once the electric guitars, like your double tracked rhythms, fade, once those kind of resolve a little bit more, you kind of hear that vocal bloom in the mix just a little bit. But early on, like your first like 3 or 4 words are kind of drowned out by a lot of the bigger elements of the mix. So I would just make sure that in the midst of having prominent double tracks, bright acoustic guitars, heavy double tracked rhythms, slicey, sharp drums, like really transient drums, that vocal can live in its space, right? Whether you need a slightly tighter compression structure and push it up a little bit, maybe a little bit of saturation so you can shave off the top end a little bit, but then push it forward in the mix a little bit more. Make sure that vocal has enough support to compete when you have constant double tracks going on, whether it's acoustic or electric. Right now, like this first part, it dives a little bit, and I don't want to miss anything that you're saying. You have a great voice. The whole structure here, I think, is fantastic, and it also happens a couple times during the hook where I feel that the vocal dives a little bit, and I want to make sure that it stays a little bit more prominent. Like right here. Like this could use another 2-3 dB of energy. How you do that, there's a multitude of different ways depending on how you want it to fit into the mix. You can carve some of that space like we mentioned earlier. You could just turn it up if that feels like you have headroom for it and you need a little bit more actual energy overall in the structure of the song right there, and or slightly tighter compression to bring up some of that low end information a little bit more, like low level information up a little bit more. Like between those acoustic guitars, there's definitely a little bit of space for that vocal to just be louder, right? The answer isn't always compression EQ. Sometimes you just got to use the faders there, right, and make it louder. Sometimes you got to carve, sometimes you got to manipulate, sometimes you just need to push them forward a little bit. Before you come through the door, B section here, personally speaking, I would add a double to the vocal. You have this B section here. You add in the drums a little bit. Once again, you add in a bunch of energy. We go from just a double track acoustic guitar to now having full overheads, kick, snare, open hats and stuff, close and open hats. You get this full mix right now. So I want to make sure the vocal can still compete. So on a B section right here, it would be really nice to have just a direct double of the vocal and a sung, not duplicated, but a sung, sung double of the vocal to give it a little bit of sharpness, give it a little bit of energy right there so it can kind of support a little bit better and help you transition from like A section of the verse, B section of the verse, building dynamics going into obviously the full hook after that. It feels a little bit lonely in the middle of the mix, especially once you add in a bit more percussion. Having just a single double, 3% pan to the side on the vocal turned down a little bit would help it quite a bit.
I'll never find my way. I can't get myself off the ground. Put it all on me.
The double tonally right there is really nice as well, because that's where you do finally introduce a double right there.
I'll never find my way. I can't get myself.
Love the melodies in the background on the electrics. Gorgeous. The beautiful little arpeggio in the background on the guitars.
I'll never find my way. I can't get myself off the ground. Put it all on me. It's what you need. So you can take your time
how much those layers of that vocal, harmonies and doubles of that vocal, help just impact the mix. There's so much more energy around that vocal now. It really, really helps. So like now we have like 4, 5, 6 layers of vocals to support right there. Adding just that double or a little bit earlier on, I think will help a little bit too. The other, one other quick thing, right? So this is all about vocals. Production structure honestly sounds pretty damn good. The only other thing I would say is sometimes, especially when you're pre right here, when you go to the higher register of your vocal, it does sound a little bit thin to me, maybe a little bit of a personal preference. It does sound just a little bit thin. I wish there was just a few dB more, just body, a little bit more energy. Like it kind of sounds like high pass is maybe a little bit high. And like between 100 and 300 hertz, some of that low end boominess y'all were trying to cut out maybe has just crossed the line a little bit more. Maybe it's like 4 or 5 dB down. And it feels like it's lost a little bit of energy. That's also going to help it compete in the mix, right? If you'd like thin the vocal out too much, then it loses a lot of that fundamental and it loses a lot of the energy in the mix. So I think you could reintroduce a little bit more life. So like between 100 and 300, 100 and 400 hertz, I do think you could give it a little bit more emphasis right there without carving too much space out. I would honestly, high pass at like 80 hertz. Don't go any higher than that. High pass at 80 hertz, cut out the low, boominess, and that's it. And then between 100, 80, 100 and 300 hertz, carve just enough to remove boom and remove mud, maybe some plosive energy, stuff like that, but not enough to thin it out because you need to be able to compete with big guitars, big drums, and big everything else in there. I double everything. It makes it sound so much. 100%. Yeah, it's got to serve the song. If it serves the song, double it up. Do you think quad tracking would be good? On the verses, are you talking about guitar or vocal? You're talking about vocals? And then eights, and you're going to close this up today. That part is double track for vocals already. B section of the verse, I don't think it is. I don't think it's weird, David, unless you make it weird. Yeah. Listen however and wherever you would like to. So here. Is this doubled right here? This is the part that I'm talking about. This is a part right here that I'm talking about. So this is where, because this, yeah. This is your B section. So when you go into your pre here, right here, when you go into that part, you double it, and you can hear that really distinctly. That's where it sounds a little thin, which you can re-EQ obviously, but previous to that, I think you could have a low register octave that's with that vocal on the B section of your verse. So it's like A section is dry because there's nothing to compete with, right? It's just acoustic guitars. B section, you bring in drums, and that's where I would add a double to the vocal to help it compete. And then, pre-hook or pre-chorus right there, you do add the double on the vocal. And I think that sounds chef's kiss. Beautiful. Love it. All right, let's get a little deeper into the song here. Most of this production I really, really like. I'm really, really appreciating what you're doing here. Actually, I do want to hear the B section of the second verse here, actually. Yeah, this vocal definitely just needs more amplitude too, right? Like it's like it definitely just needs to be louder. It needs maybe a little bit more warmth in the mid lows to help bring out just a little bit. No, it's not released yet. There's still it's not mastered yet either. You could have a little bit more of that depth that we're talking about. And I also think you could probably just push the vocal 2-3 dB forward. I want to hear that vocal at the top of the mix. I want it to hit me in the chest, along with these big guitars that have a lot of energy to it. But yeah, the doubles you already had in there, those are fine. I don't think you need it. If that's what we're talking about, I don't think we need to quad track the doubles on the pre-hook. Very true. There's some times where I hear a little bit of pulling back of the vocal that makes me feel, if anything, Ryan, I can kind of affirm some of the things you're already feeling, where the vocal does feel a little bit lonely sometimes in the mix. Just you have 9 mics on a drum set, quad tracked rhythm guitars, a heavy distorted bass underneath it, and all of these things, and then like one vocal in a high register trying to compete with all that in the middle of the mix. You need to either give it support and or bolster the vocal production itself to where it feels like it has punch, feels like it has drive, healthy saturation, multiple stages of compression. So there is a couple times in this mix, because you've got a fantastic voice, by the way. Awesome. There's some times where I do feel like the vocal does get a little bit suppressed in the mix, and it could be small changes in amplitude, small change, which is natural with any vocal, of course, small changes in proximity as well, that is causing that vocal to move around a little bit in the mix. It's ducking a little bit underneath the production. Another option, this is kind of an and or thing, would be to just double check the vocal chain itself, just like Dan said. I think that's a great point to bring up as well. It could also just be that you need another stage of compression, right? We just need, just right after one of the stages that you have in there, drop a 2-way after it, get about 5 dB of reduction on it, crank the gain back up, and then that vocal shines right over the top of the mix with a little bit of crunch and saturation. 100%. So, I mean, yeah, that's where your vocal chain is going to be a huge part of it, right? And I talk about this all the time. So, like right now on my vocal, this is like a voiceover chain. This is not like some great vocal chain, right? But this is just like a voiceover chain so I can talk on TikTok and whatever in the DAW. But on this vocal chain, I have 3 stages of compression. I have a tube compressor on the outside right here, which is, I'm literally just kissing the vocal barely, right? Like it's just like almost like a limiter. I'm just kissing the vocal like a dB at my hottest. And right there, got you, Aiton, welcome in. That's just to kiss it, right? When I get in the DAW, I have another 2 stages of compression. And this particular voiceover, it's 1176 and an LA2A. Basic, I know. 1176 and an LA2A. One is a bit of a faster release, just to catch some peaks and control it and give my vocal a little bit more punch. And then the secondary one is the LA2A to kind of then take a little bit of a slower release time, smooth it all out, and give me a little bit of healthy saturation. And the result of that is, and I do this all the time, but like the result of that is like I can talk kind of quiet, right? I can go all the way down to like a whisper and like vocal fry right here. And like I'm barely talking. And I can also talk super loud. I'm not changing my proximity at all, by the way, right? I can talk super, super loud, or I could talk really, really quiet. And the difference is like energy in the vocal performance is not amplitude, right? So there's like hyper control, but it's also not, you're not like hearing all this like really weird, nasty pumping of the compression. I can, and if I wanted to, I could change proximity a little bit. I can move around a little bit. I could be getting into the record and stuff like that. But if I have low level information, it's going to bring it up. If I start to peak a little bit because I leaned into a vocal take a little bit too much, it's going to help control it and bring it down. But that's only going to sound really smooth if you have multiple stages of compression. If you're relying on one, or, you know, just kissing it going into the DAW and then you just relying on one stage, it's possible, but it's going to be more challenging for you to control the nuances of your changes in proximity. You're moving around the mic and stuff like that, or even just changes of like vocal register. Like you're jumping octaves here. You're going from a low octave straight into a high octave jump, straight into like a triple track fry scream. It's crazy. Like there's a lot of different changes to your vocal structure here that needs help to make sure that those can all fit there, right? Those all make sense together. So I would definitely recommend, kind of to Dan's point, looking at the vocal chain, it could be beneficial to revisit the vocal chain and say like, maybe I just need one more compressor. 2A is great for this, just to smooth everything out and make sure that there's a little bit of a tighter dynamic range. Not like shiny, hyper compressed like rap vocal, but like a smooth, controlled, well-saturated vocal that just shines right at the top of the mix. And you just don't have to worry about like if it's falling behind the production at all. You can carve space, you can layer it, all the stuff we're already talking about, but I think it could be nice to just give it a little bit of support as well. Okay, let's get to the end. Let's get to the end of this track here. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is at the very least affirm some of the things you're already thinking about your song and can kind of get your own creative wheel spinning as well. We got to hear all this real quick.
Before, from
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's so much I love about this. Fantastic vocals, yeah. Awesome. Great dynamics too. I mean, this is a bit of a roller coaster ride. Like, yeah, the dynamics here are a roller coaster, which I love. It's really, really, really well done. Love this little moment here. Shrink it back down to mono. Filter everything out. And then fire. Yeah.
Can you say it was worth it? Can you still care, 'cause it always felt like I was never even there.
Filter it all back down, bring it all back to mono. This is loud versus quiet. It's wide versus narrow. Love it. Really dynamic.
Hopeless and lost, the silence and screaming, you're my weapon of choice.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Y'all show some love to Ryan right here in the chat. Ryan, I love what you do, man. You are incredibly talented. The fact that you largely handled the vast majority of this record is incredibly impressive, man. It's good writing. It's great structure. I love your vocal and all of its different ranges and different dynamics. Production is really, really well done too, man. It's good musicianship, good sample replacement and programming, good structure on the rest of the drums. Overall balance of the rest of those elements is already really, really good as well. Good tone on the guitar. Like, you're doing a lot of things at a really, really high level, very intuitively, while still feeling very like raw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not over polishing anything, which is also something that I want you to kind of think about as well. It's like, as much as I want to make sure the vocal sits on top and I want another stage of compression, I want room for the vocals in the mix, I still want to make sure that this feels garage. It feels raw. It feels organic. I don't want you to overproduce it. I don't want you to overmix it to where we're surgically carving everything and making space for it. It should still be a wall of sound. It should still be fairly noisy, and it doesn't have to be super precise and clean. It's really just going to come down to making sure that that vocal can compete in a really, really vibrant, really, really heavy mix. Man, show some love. Ryan, love it. Yeah, main note is vocals. I don't mind the production at all. I don't mind the production at all. I think it's nice. Even like the things like, maybe I would change that. It's also maybe not. Like, it's also just taste at the same time. Y'all give it up one more time. Ryan, appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. I can't wait to hear more music from you. We're gonna close it here with Aiton. This is Aiton's track, Splintered Sunrise. Let's get into it. This will be our last one for the day. Anyone who's left on the board, of course, will always be saved. I've got you on my list already, saved, ready to go. So we're gonna close it up with this track right here, and then we'll be live again tomorrow afternoon, probably around 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time, if I had to take a guess. 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time. We'll open up the line again. We'll take more songs than we did today. Today was a shorter live, but we'll take a lot more tomorrow to make sure that we have a little bit more time to handle maybe a few more consultations tomorrow. Okay, let's close it out right here. What's up, Sammy? Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Let's run it. Let me get this downloaded. Aiton, let me know that I know you're bouncing between platforms. Just let me know that you're here. That way I don't listen without you. And let's run it. Splintered Sunrise. Let's go, man. Now, hopefully I can get my neck feeling better tomorrow as well. I can't wait, y'all. I can't tell you how excited I am for this synth coming in. I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited. I can't wait to post about it. I've been wanting this synth for literally like 15 years. Yeah, the name alone sounds great. All right, this is it. Splintered Sunrise by Aiton right here in the chat. Any details you want me to hone in on, let me know. Have a lo-fi feel. Come on, bass. I always love your bass lines. Good progression changes too. That's a vibe, man.
just an instrumental. I don't know if I've heard of production. Aiton, have I heard a production of yours with a vocal yet? Not added yet. Wait, you have some? Nice. Nice crunchy drums. Yeah. This has space. This has plenty of space for a vocal. Love this like rolling MS-20. Always love your productions, man. Yeah. Y'all, show some love. That is Aiton Music Productions right here in the chat. Beautifully done. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into some details. Honestly, man, it's a pretty well balanced production. It's good structure, so we're going to look at some progression stuff just very briefly. And then piano. I want to look at some things in the piano. Right now, just bullet point, what I'm hearing on the piano is right now you have a lot impacting that middle space, right? Snare is very mid-forward because it's a little bit more of a like a high tune, almost like piccolo snare, right? Love it. I love so much about the production. It's very well orchestrated and very well composed. But that's very sharp, very transient, very mid-forward right there in the middle. There's a lot of other amazing things happening in the background of the production. The piano to me just kind of cuts into that same space right here. The piano's we'll hear it when we go back into it. It's very like mid-forward, especially around like 1,000 to 2,000 hertz, like that little pocket in there, 1,000, 1,500 to 2,000 hertz kind of in that pocket. It's a little bit forward right there. So it does feel a little ringy. Sometimes you are getting some of that over resonance as well as it just kind of cutting in a way that does feel a little bit harsh. I think you could soften that piano a little bit of saturation, maybe even a little bit of like Studio D slow modulation chorus in the background. A really light modulation could do that piano some good as well to kind of soften it. Maybe even just like a tape, man, just like run it through like a tape emulation, give it a little bit of wobble, make it so it's not too direct and too forward, but actually feels a little softer. And then you could probably pull it back by a few dB. But there's so much about this production that I really enjoy. It's very vibey, plenty of space for a vocal. I'm excited to hear this with the vocal as well. Let's run it from the top and let's get into it, man. I'm excited. It's a very well structured song. RC20, man. RC20's the GOAT, the classic. Oh, and then one other thing we'll dig into for a second is some transitions. Well, listen, yeah, like honestly, so here's like you have this like it's like a D minor 7, right? Let me just based off because that's exactly what I was thinking. RC20 is great. I mean, it can sometimes be a little bit of a crutch of a sound. D minor 9, okay. It can be a little bit of a crutch of a sound sometimes, but if I just like slow down right here. This is where it's like fun, right? If I just like take like the piano that I have here, I'm going to filter this down quite a bit. Like let's put this under like 1,500 hertz, run it through a tube, crunch up the tube like crazy here. And then give it like give it a little bit of vinyl, but we're also going to follow the vinyl so it ducks a little bit and darken it. We don't need any of that. And then just don't do that. Let's go underwater a little bit. Put this in stereo. Slow down the wah. Right here. I'm going to darken this tone just a little bit as well. And just, I got to pull this out. I'm running into my own instruments here. And then give this kind of, little dark, right? It doesn't have to be that dark, but I like that movement there too. Move up to like the G minor, right? So you have this beautiful. It's a really, really nice movement right there. Like the chord progression changed from just like the moving to the D minor from the B flat right there, and then adding in the G minor as an extra little lift with the bass is beautiful. All right, let me back it up a little bit. Be careful too with the kick. So I would definitely, if you're not already, you might already be doing some of this. It could just be honing in a little bit, right? I love it. I love the G minor. It's great. It gives you a nice little tasteful little switch right there. The only other thing, or not only, we'll get into a couple little things. Let me back this up a little. I don't need to be over here anymore. Let me move back over here. With the drums, you might already be running through the drums through something. You're getting a little bit of like this really, really like sharp transients in the kick sample itself. So like that kick sample, it just has this little bit of pop. It has this little snap right at the top that to me, you're getting like some digital artifact right there, maybe even some digital clipping within the DAW. There's a little bit of energy right there that to me kind of slices a little bit. It's a little bit harsh. It's a little bit abrasive. I would love to just wash that in some saturation, just like a Kramer tape or like an Abbey Roads tape saturation right there. Soften that whole top end and allow some of that like sharpness and transients to like feel like it's got a little bit more harmonic quality to it. It feels a little bit more musical. It doesn't feel too direct, right? Because you have great drum structure. I always love your drums and your bass. Like those, your drums and bass to me are everything. They really drive your song. So I just don't want that to feel too sharp, too transient, too poppy. I would love to soften a little bit of that right there. So if you might already be running it through tape, you might already be like giving it a little bit of that, but maybe it just needs a little bit more edge, or the kick alone you might want to just like carve off anything above like 6,000 hertz, 5,000 hertz. Let that kick, maybe shave off some of that top end where you're getting a little bit more of that pop. Just something to think about. You hear it kind of on the boom, boom, in between, you'll hear a little bit of that kind of snappiness right there. Just feels a little bit more direct and a little bit more digital artifact than I think I would like to hear based on how warm and inviting everything else. Like everything is like a warm blanket to listen to, and then that cuts in with a little bit of extra slice. Love that little wah in the background too. Is it the Rhodes on the right side that moves around a little bit? It's got a little auto wah on it or something like that. I love it, dude. It's so much like color and texture. It's like, I don't know. It's great, man. Yeah, I love it. There's that piano. So yeah, so if you had this kind of a little softer, right? A little warmer, right? Like you don't even have to filter it that much. Like you could still have a fairly vibrant piano, but just having, Spitfire soft piano. Oh, I have that. Is it Spitfire soft piano? The Spitfire soft piano is pretty dark. It's pretty dark. Let me hear. That feels too direct for the soft piano. Because I have it. Let me pull it up. Let me see. That's the soft piano. Oh, I do love this piano. Let me turn off RC20. This piano is great without RC20. Wait, not that one. Here. Here. Oh, the little ear candy. Oh, got you. Okay, you're saying instead of the Rhodes? You're saying instead of the Rhodes. I was like, wait, there's no way. I was like, this is soft piano and it's super. Yeah. Makes sense. That makes sense. I was like, hold on. That makes sense. Because that has this, dark kind of, it's very like dark and kind of muted. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, now with this other piano, if you warm this up, right, a little bit. That's just like the softness in the background. It just gives, and again, I would use a different piano. I just have the Ravel piano on there, which is not my favorite for what you're doing, but even just with RC20, you just get a little bit more of that warmth that a lot of the other textures in the song are already feeling. So if you warm up and saturate those drums, you shave off some of the harshness and kind of the top end. It's a little bit more transient. You warm all of this up. You put a blanket of saturation, even on the master, just kind of make this thing feel like a hug. And then you have this really, really like tight bass underneath all of that structure right there. Great ear candy. I love the reverses. I love the little pans that you have in there. I love that soft piano with the wah. All of that sounds so great. I a singer, rapper, and songwriter. The vibe of this. Yeah, it's so good, Jazz. I love it so much. It's so good. So good. That's why I'm talking about the harshness at all. Yeah, keep everything warm because it is so good and everything is so inviting to listen to. I don't want like anything to feel harsh. I don't want anything to feel too direct or too digital or too artificial. Like this is so well structured that I think it's really important that it does feel, even if it's not, fairly analog and soft and warm and saturated, because I think that's what's gonna make it feel musical and make it feel really harmonic. And that's what I'm looking for. Love all this movement. Good balance between like your rolling bass pads and stuff in here too, and then balancing like a finger bass and stuff like that in the background. Like even, yeah, getting into some of those melody. This is a little too filtered, right? Like you don't, I still want some direct signal, right? Like I filtered this to all hell. Let's give this a little, you can still have some of this. You can still have some of that like texture in there with some of these leads without it feeling too direct, too forward, too dry, anything like that. This is super distorted. Like again, take this with a grain of salt. Like you can soften this a little bit. You can soften it without it being too direct and too on the nose. And then again, softening mainly on the piano, even beyond RC20 and the saturation and fuzz and all that stuff, even beyond RC20, it's also just those mids, right? It's also just taking that forwardness that's between 1,000 and 2,000 hertz ish and softening that a little bit, just recontrolling where that piano sits in the mix so it doesn't slice through, especially if a vocal is going to come in, that's where a lot of that vocal is going to sit. So if a vocal is singing right there, you have a beautiful R&B artist doing a cool vocal run on the bridge of the song before the next hook or verse hits or something like that, next rap verse hits. You don't want that piano to come in and grab attention from the vocal because it sits in the same space as it, especially in mono and kind of in the center of the mix right there. So just making sure there's a little bit of space there is definitely going to help. There's a lot of ear candy in here that I love. I think that's the soft piano maybe. That sounds more like soft piano. Maybe again, I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm just throwing out ideas. Feel free to ignore, as you know, ignore half. Take some that you're like, oh yeah, that resonates. You could also, I think, probably soften your hat's velocity just a little bit. Maybe just like select all, even if there are different velocities, bring them down a little bit. They're a little they're a little on the nose and a little bit forward. I would probably bring all of the velocities down a percentage, a couple points right there, and then I would also get into, and maybe there's a couple different parts of this that you can make it easier to copy over, so you're not doing this for every single hat in the whole song. But your second hats, I would love to maybe, again, this is taste. This is up to you. I would love to soften the velocity on like every other hat. So like 2, 4, 6, 8. So you have a little bit more of a dip, not too crazy, not a crazy swing or anything. But right now it's very forward. It's very, again, it's kind of like the piano. It's a little forward. It's a little on the nose. I would love to like bring them down. Yeah, I can hear it doing it a little bit. I would exaggerate it just a little bit more, just because right now I think all of their velocities are a little hot. All of them are pretty high. So you could bring them all down by a couple points and then maybe exaggerate it slightly. Because yeah, you can tell it's not all at 127, right? You still have a little bit of a curve to that velocity. I think if you exaggerate it a little bit more, it'll feel more natural, because it does like sound like real drums until you get to some of the heaviness of the hats. And I think if you give it a little bit more velocity variation on the hats, just a hair, I think you'll be locked in, man. You'll be ready to go. Let me hear the outro here. It's beautiful, man. I'm such a big fan of your productions, man. Retrack Beats, what's up, man? What's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, you hear the little snap out of the kick right there. Darken that up a little bit, a little more saturation. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. It might just be that the loudest hats that you have are just a little bit too loud, velocity trigger wise, right? Because some of the other ones, I'm like, okay, yeah, those are actually sitting in a pretty good space, and then every once in a while it gets that's like really, really hot. So you might just like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll shrink in on the DAW so I can see everything in one pocket, and I'll just like click and drag and select only my hottest hats or snare or whatever, the ones that feel like they're slicing too much, and I'll just like bring them down 5 velocity points or something like that. And sometimes it'll trigger at a lower rate, the sample, so that it feels a little bit calmer, doesn't feel too forward. Because I hear a lot of those background ones that are softer velocity, and I like them. I actually really like where they sit. So you might just like select your hottest ones, right? Like just click and then be like, select it until it starts to kind of catch all of your really, really hot hats, bring them down by like 5 velocity points. And that might fix everything. That might do it enough. Because you have a pretty good velocity range here, the more that I hear it. Yeah, that's a vibe, man. Beautiful. I love the synths in the background too. Man, this is so good. Y'all show some love to 18. That is Splintered Sunrise. Splintered Sunrise. Yeah, there's a couple little percussion things here and there. Like the structure of it is great. I can't wait to hear a vocalist on here. Can't wait, man. It's so well done. Your sound design selection, your musicianship is always top notch. We're hearing like real chords and real interesting structure. As a musician, like I like hearing the musicianship. I like hearing like, oh, you didn't just do the D minor. We're doing a 9, and then we're pushing into moving to the 2 minor every other time. Like I love that you're like manipulating the song in a way that feels musical and feels interesting to listen to. I think it's going to make the vocal feel more interesting to listen to as well when it gets on the structure of the song as well. So y'all, of course, man, anytime. Y'all show some love to 18. That's going to close us out today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all so much for your generosity, your time, for your amazing music as well. We will be live again tomorrow, so definitely tap in then if you've got music. Of course, man. Of course. That's what I'm here for. Dude, hit him up, Jazz. Yeah, anybody. That's half of what this live is for too. I want y'all to connect. I want y'all to collaborate. Reach out to each other if you're looking for a producer, or you're looking for vocalists, you're looking for artists, whatever it may be. You're looking for session musicians. Reach out to people. Network, collaborate. Definitely make sure y'all follow each other and connect, and then and see what happens. But y'all, I love and appreciate y'all. We'll be live again tomorrow. I got to finish up, hopefully finish up a mix earlier in the day. And then we'll be live in the afternoon for just a couple hours as well. Probably, I would say maybe tomorrow, but 3 or 4 hours tomorrow for a live. I love and appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for what y'all do. Hopefully we'll see y'all very, very, very soon. Peace.